We
live, baby. There it is.
We're
back.
Back.
Got a rest last week.
I know. I was waiting. I honestly when I logged in last week, I didn't realize that you guys didn't have that, and it made it just doesn't hit the same. I think.
I was gonna say, who's been controlling the button lately too?
I don't know. Gordon,
the live button.
Yeah.
Tommy is. I used to hit the button, but now that's why last week I was.
You guys would cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's why I stopped just hitting it. Let him do it.
Oh, did we go live then unlive?
Last week I didn't even hit it because it was delayed because I got used to you hitting it because we were battling usually.
Yeah. Well, happy to be back from the Rock Show here another Monday night, and shout out to everybody over in chat. This is F35 Live, our weekly live stream. We're here every Monday night from 9 p.m. Eastern to at least 11 p.m. Eastern. And tonight we brought a guest with us for the first time in a long time.
It's been a while.
It has been a few weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Since we've had a guest or since we've had them on? It's a little misleading.
Well, we never had this guest on, but since we've had a guest, even since having a guest, it's still been a few weeks. So we went through a little dry spell, a little F35 spell, I guess you would call it. But also a huge shout out tonight over to Mopar over in chat for setting this up and helping us get connected with the team over there. So truly appreciate that. Shout out to everybody over in chat. Granddad Crypto, always early over here. Appreciate you hanging with us. J-Hub, Hugs Not Rugs, our F35 mod Resin over here. You've got Arrow Art, who else? Mopar, we already said that. And we got one in the back right now waiting for us. And I'm excited too because I got a chance this past week to go ahead and actually catch the interview between Block and Thor. Did a little co-stream with them. So it's
cool.
Yeah, it's nice. We need to get in touch with them too as well. Do a nice little content creator reunion. But
especially Thor's not here in a minute.
I know. It has been it's been close to a year, I think, right before the CT793. So we'll have to hit up the DMs for that. But no, I think tonight is going to be a really cool one because it's a unique, it's an NFT project, but it's a unique one. One that's kind of setting the standard, if you will, over here in Cardano. One that has over 220,000 NFTs minted. I think it's coming for the Hosky record over there. And this is one that's got a lot of utility behind it. And I think one we all know and love and use every single day inside the space. So excited to get a chance to chat. We'll bring in the co-founder over here. Let's welcome in Goose to the stream. Goose, how's it going?
Good, guys. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I got to say that the intro music is money. I was I was vibing. Yeah, I was vibing in the back.
Yeah, well, this is the first time checking out the stream, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us over here. We're here every Monday. We like to have some fun, keep it chill. So no pressure tonight. This is should be a fun one.
Cool. I'm excited.
I want to say, Tommy, how many wallets was that you said? 212,000?
200. I see on the website 221,000 and counting. If that number is accurate over there, which is absolutely insane to think about when you really put that in perspective.
Which is probably close to that many wallets, because not many people would have multiple handles, within a single wallet. That's just crazy.
Unless for me, who just organizes kind of crazy, right? I think
I do have my one wallet does have two. I have the squash sweater and the other Tom one. But that was thanks to one of our followers. But it's just kind of cool that we get to do this because I don't think we've had a project on that is probably this spread out among the community that touches this many community members overall. Usually it's a project and you have fans of that project. It's cool to see them show up. But to have this where it's everyone has a handle. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like the convention over here, the standard, as you guys will. And Goose, with you, I guess we're talking a lot over here. Let's get to you for jumping on over to the show. But no, we appreciate you jumping on to the stream tonight. And for anybody new who's maybe the first time exposed to you, can you give you a quick little intro of who you are and what you do for the Handle team?
Sure. So my name is Goose. I'm the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Data Handle. I'm the CEO of Core Labs, which is the parent company for Data Handle. I myself, I come from the financial background. I started a small commercial brokerage in San Francisco City. I worked there for a number of years. Eventually, COVID hit and did hit the commercial sector pretty hard, especially in big cities. Things like the work from home movement had a lot to do with the drawing up of pipelines and the nullification of deals, and a lot of big names moving out of their spaces. So it kind of put me on the sidelines as a professional, as a young 20-year-old trying to build a career. And so I was just trying, and getting put into lockdown with everybody else. I was just trying to find an outlet, something where I could spend my time, something where I could possibly, build another revenue stream. And I just found myself on Twitter a lot. I found myself going down the rabbit hole that I think everybody's gone down, or you kind of learn about Bitcoin, and you watch all these YouTubers, and you learn about people like what's the dude from MicroStrategy, Sailor. You watch people like Sailor, BitBoy, and they just start going down and down and down. And I ended up finding myself in the Cardano community, and realizing that a lot of the people here, and this was back in 2020. So a few years ago, that a lot of people here align ideologically with how I see the world, and I connected really well. So I was like, this is a space that I want to be in, and after meeting other professionals in the space, I think just from conversation, there just isn't much to do but build things that are super interesting to you, and then that's really what happened. I met super interesting people. And I consider them friends to this day. And we meet IRL all the time, like Calvin and Conrad. And, long story short, we basically started this thing called ADA Handle, and it took off way more than I think any single one of us would have thought it would. I think every single one of us, in fact, we literally said verbatim, this is like a weekend project. And this is just something that we can do for fun. And to have it be where it is now is just absolutely crazy to us.
Yeah, I can imagine. You guys have probably some busy weekends these days from where you first started. That's really nice and really cool to hear. And so you guys were just a bunch of people inside the community that got connected, all had different, like you said, strengths, skill sets, and then kind of came to be. When did ADA Handle officially kind of start with you guys, like the concept? Because I know you guys released in towards the end of 21, as far as the NFTs go.
Yeah, so I think the initial concept was March 2021.
Okay, right when the NFT started.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah,
pretty much. And this is one thing that Calvin needs to be shine some light on, is he's the idea guy. He has every 2-3 weeks he just has this new idea, and it's always something super enlightening, or that's going to be huge, and holy crap, that's going to take so much time to build. And that's just what ADA Handle was. It was just a simple idea that had a lot of traction to it, or a lot of potential to it. And we just needed the right guys around it. And at the time it was Conrad building out the network infrastructure, and Calvin writing the code base. And then as we started to realize, if we're not going to go the normal SIP standard route to make this convention a standard that route, we're going to have to start individually reaching out to applications and start having building out a standard that way. And so that's kind of where I came in, and they were like, okay, well, there's a gap here that needs to be filled. Somebody who has, experience with building rapport and liaisoning between different organizations and companies. And that was literally my background before that. So I just kind of jumped in and hit the ground running, and super grateful and fortunate that at the time, a lot of these applications were in their beginning stages of development. And this was right around the time smart contracts were out. And so, everybody was busy writing. Everybody had this idea of what their UI was going to look like, what their application was going to look like. And so it kind of gave us an easy job, who were trying to sell the idea of simplification in a UI framework to these applications. They're like, oh yeah, perfect. Well, we'll definitely use ADA Handle, because, the entire standards foundation is built off the simplification of sending transactions. And so it was pretty much an easy sell, and just at a perfect time. The timing was perfect. So
something I think is one of the more fascinating or cool things. We always talk about how early we get to be in the space, when we get to see all these new things get developed. And it's got to be fun from that side too. You're almost getting to be the explorers going into the new world, because this is all new spaces as far as on the Cardano blockchain, and you get to kind of be the first ones to get to mess around and mess up and make mistakes and figure it out along the way, but also kind of get ahead even. Just get in touch with those projects, like you said, and develop alongside them, so that you can be at the front.
Totally.
I think too, how crazy is it just from your guys' perspective when you came up with this idea in March? Like NFTs were such a new thing, it was such an unexplored space, and you know, even the success of some of the top projects over on the other sides like ETH really hadn't taken off to that point yet. It was all kind of developing when you guys had this concept. Can what, I guess as NFTs kind of grew, I'm sure you guys ran into a bunch of challenges up upon the release. And I know it's obviously been a crazy ride up until this point right now. One of the things that kind of stuck out to me when I remember when you guys first launched, because we were back, like as we were talking about backstage, we were in like the OG status, like the signups back then. And even your launch was TJ, do you remember the email window? Like back when
I was checking that shit all through the night, hoping because
so,
he told us about it
got ours late at night.
It was like, hey, I can't go away from my house. It was like sort of near like holiday time. It had to have been like, hey, I can't go away right now because I need to get the handle over there. It was like it's just something that you felt like you needed to have that though. Like it invoked that from the community, and I think everybody has their own fun story. Some may be good, some may be bad.
I legit lost sleep over it. Literally.
Yeah. But so yeah, I know you guys did a couple different releases. So like going through things like that of like the initial launch period up until where you guys are at today, like how was that kind of journey, and like, you know, where you guys, you know, what was that experience like for you guys launching and being so early, like pioneering something like that?
Yeah. So one cool thing I wanted to talk about that, you know, I've done a few of these interviews before, and then I've actually never brought this up. So in the beginning, when we were doing those beta sale launches, and I think the one that everybody talks about, so when they bring up the whole email queuing system, which was, you know, a response to a solution, because the problem at the time was that the blockchain got really congested really quickly. And so there were different projects launching, and it took one NFT project to congest the whole blockchain at the time. So like timing the launch and then figuring out some sort of system that like mitigated the amount of people who were interacting on chain was how we were trying to figure out how to do the launch. And you know, we had tried two times before December our beta launch that finally was successful. Both of those failed miserably, and I remember having to be the the PR firefighter and have to douse those flames. And that was always super fun and super heartbreaking too, because you know, you just put in a ton of unpaid hours month after month, and to have them fail like that and thinking it's the end of the world when, you know, it's really not. Talking people off of ledges is another one for sure. But it wasn't until, because at the time, you know, Calvin was the only code base writer, Conrad was all the infrastructure, I was doing, you know, sort of the business side of things, and this was when I had finally convinced my dad, who everybody knows as Papa Goose, who at the time he was working at Capital One as a senior platform engineer, making $250,000 in San Francisco City. And I convinced him to leave his job and come work on Data Handle.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that backstory.
Yeah, and he was like, "Screw it, let's do it." Because even he too, you know, he's always been of an entrepreneurial mind, and he's tried to build ventures on his own. He's tried to build ventures with friends, and so this just seemed like something right up his alley, coming from like the entrepreneurial side. And so then he brought his best friend, who he actually taught how to code like 20 some odd years ago, who's Big Irish Lion, who's our CTO. Who quit his job and they kind of came in between that September-December period and just kind of rewrote the whole code base in like 2 to 3 months. And by the time December came, everything was different. And we were finally ready and we successfully launched. And so it was kind of that bringing in those two were like the first evolution, the first like big growing up and growing pain step for Data Handle, and I think that really pushed us to like take this thing a little more seriously. And you know, we ended up incorporating into Core Labs and you know, making this an actual organization. So
went from being a weekend thing to like a full time. Like, okay,
That takes. I was gonna say that takes some real conviction too. Like bringing like I said with your story with your dad, I didn't realize that either. But for him to actually, you know, to quit something like as successful as he had and a stable career like that to do this, I mean, it had to have really had some conviction in this. And I think I heard you on the block one saying that pretty much you're like, hey, I got, you know, you convinced him like this is a good place to be. how was like that transition too with you guys? Is it great, kind of weird working with your dad, or is it fun? Like how has that transition been?
I think that when I finally convinced him, we had a number of margaritas in us, so
Yeah,
I can take all the credit. No, it's been awesome. He and I think very much the same. We interact with people very much the same. So I don't think ever we've really had any problems. We definitely have our, different topics or different things that we don't agree on, like any, company has. But man, I couldn't be more grateful to be in a position where I am, where I get to work with my dad on something as awesome as this and get to build a company alongside him. It's been super cool.
It's awesome, man. Well, like I said, it's really cool to see the evolution, the growth of how handles have progressed over the year. And I know you guys are just kind of, you're still, it's got to be like the initial, like we built the framework for this. We've partnered with so many different people. We've got to kind of work in, but like, what's the next step over here? And I think you guys are now, I know you're getting the marketing campaign going, and the personalization is kind of the next thing you guys are looking to kind of showcase over here. We'll bring a little share screen too, so we can do kind of a little visual on this, because you guys have really, it's one thing to have a handle sitting in your wallet. It's another thing where you get to start to kind of like personalize that and kind of create your online identity. And can you kind of walk us through a little like quick, what was the thought process behind the personalization? Like, why personalize? Does it matter if anybody can see this, if it's just in your wallet? Like, what was the overall goal with these?
Totally. So I think from the very beginning, like deciding on a development path is like one of the trickiest things any company can decide on, right? Because if you're very early into your idea or your product or a feature, those are kind of make or break. To spend an entire year building one feature that has all the potential that you think it's going to have, or all the potential that it really doesn't have. And so it was a decision that took a lot of time to decide, okay, this is the path that we're going to take. Because from the very beginning, and this is sort of an ode to Cardano as well, like the native asset infrastructure that exists on Cardano makes it super easy to build a foundation where you can then build on top of that. And that was one thing that we sort of toted from the beginning was ADA handle as a naming convention is the pure foundation of what we're trying to build. All of the things that come on top of it is the direction we're taking this for the future. And personalization is the first step in that. It's the first feature that extends upon that naming convention, that extends upon the handle standard. And it was running ideas through the gauntlet pretty much, and finally coming up with one. In fact, it was really our business advisor and SSI specialist who kind of pushed us down this path, because we were really focusing on DIDs, and we really wanted our first feature set for handles to be down the DID path. We had two of our engineers going through the Prism Pioneers. We were reading through all the W3 documentation and trying to get as caught up as possible on SSI. And he just told us, he was like, guys, like, you have an entire market here that are really ingrained into their NFTs that I think you guys could push features for that make way more sense from a business and revenue perspective than trying to go after DIDs. There's so many companies going after DIDs, and they're sort of building, I don't want to say aimlessly, but they're sort of building towards the goal of finding one standard. And we don't want to put ourselves in that rat race. We just kind of want to, at some point when that DID SSI standard is ready for blockchain, be able to utilize it and build off of it. And we don't want to be, kind of spinning our wheels alongside everybody else. So how about we build a feature, that complements not only our standard, but also is a perfect target a perfect market for our target audience. And so that's what personalization was from a decision standpoint. Personalization as a feature itself, for ADA handle specifically, is basically our first rendition of on-chain identity. I think everybody in the crypto space is going to have their idea of what on-chain identity looks like. And this is ADA handle's first step towards that. And so really what it is anybody who owns a handle, they're going to be able to update at the beginning right now, trivial data about the handle, but provide themselves with very identifiable features that are going to exist across multiple applications. So things like IPFP that represents who you are on chain. Things like social media redirect links, QR codes. You can even be a little more like artistic and visual and personalize the actual background of the handle themselves that could, maybe will, and maybe alpha and spoilers for later that could exist on the UIs for different applications. And, we could possibly see that. And that would be awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Like I said, I think it's one thing to start. You had a great vision. I think everybody's kind of all on the same page of how handles go, right? On the Cardano. It's the unique thing about our chain, right? Is like you have this, it's like the go-to, like it's almost like the set standard you guys have already created in a short amount of time, where it's like you make a wallet, you get your address, then you mint a handle because you need it. That's like the format. And I see a lot of people over there in chat echoing the same thing. So like I said, it's only natural to want to be able to eventually upgrade that and personalize that. And I think, like you said, the digital identities, we see it with like gaming and stuff. Like people want to be able to express themselves over different platforms, and what better way to like basically your bank, your wallet, your identity that you travel with on everything inside the Cardano ecosystem. That's the best part about what you guys do, is you touch pretty much everything that involves your wallet, which is most applications on this network. So bringing the customization feature into this is a unique thing, and I hadn't really thought about it in the sense until you guys start doing the rounds, and why we would maybe want this. What was the big what's the big breakthrough for you guys? I know when these are SIP 25, the original ones, right? And then when SIP 68 kicked out, that's what made this possible, essentially.
Yeah, totally. The introduction of SIP 68 allowed us to add on metadata to these handles and allow them to be more interactable on chain. And so it gave us the leeway to create personalization, to create the marketplace for personalization, to allow all of the different applications to pull data more easily from handles themselves. So yeah, SIP 68 was a big one for us, for sure.
The personalization, you can change it as many times as you want. So I can change the background today, tomorrow, whatever, as many times.
Yep, as many times as you want. And the price will always be the same. So however many modifications you make, you can make one modification, you can make 25, it'll always cost the same.
Love that. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like you said, Tom. It's not something I'd ever thought of needing, because like already the handle itself is like, that's your customization. We have our way of like expressing these personalities across all these different platforms. You have like your username on Twitter and Discord, even how we introduce ourselves at the beginning of our podcast, where we give that name for each of us, and then you have your handle. It's something you see like in your JPEG store right there in front of you. This is the wallet that has it with your name. Tommy, you got your stupid Jake Paul handle. You're gonna get. Actually, you said you're gonna give that away tonight, right? You're doing that as a giveaway, your Jake Paul handle. That this is just like the layers on top of that. Just take that so much deeper. Whereas not only will you just have the handle, you'll have, like you said, the visual cues and everything else to it as well.
Yeah, and visual cues is super important. That's actually one thing we talked about with our wallet partners. So, like for example, like if you look at Tommy Screeney sharing on the right side in the comments, like let's say for instance John Rivera there with his Go PFP, and he has the handle John, right? And so he goes into, and say a buddy wants to send him money or ADA, and they go into the wallet and they type in John. There could be a million Johns, there could be a billion Johns. Are you sending it to the right John? And that visual cue in the wallet of having John's PFP pop up when you resolve ADA handle John is like, okay, that is the right John. I'm sending that to John Rivera because I know his PFP, because I've interacted with him, day in and day out, because I'm, a part of his community. So yeah, visual cues are super important.
This is why we don't head up projects, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But like now that you say it, like when you use Cash App, that happens where you get someone's name and you're like, oh, I'm about to send this person like $100 for fantasy or something. Right. And it just helps. It gives you that extra assurance, even when you have it right. Like even when it is something that's a little bit more unique. Yeah. Like I know TJ's, it's very simple, whatever it is, find a rocket. No one else has this. There's nothing else popping up even. But then I also see like either a picture I know that like TJ uses for almost everything, or a lot of things that I identify with him, or even just, he takes a picture and uses it for that. That instantly like, okay, we're good to go now too. Like that double confirmation, that double authentication.
I got a question too for this. So would the other part of this be like the QR, right? Like if I know Yeah, because you can get like your socials and things like that embedded into the NFT. So is that another like
don't put your social
verification
security number in an NFT.
different kind of socials? But essentially, right? If somebody could scan the QR code or go to your handle right there to be able to click, and if you have the correct link stuff, like it's just another identifier for people to kind of verification for them.
I think and one super interesting thing that and this is like this isn't a primary business development roadmap. This is sort of like super cool, interesting side quest that we kind of want to adventure out on more, is like turning these into prints and say for like the next what are the big conventions Cardano does? What are they called?
The NFT XLV you got, or CNFT Con that used to do. You got Rare Bloom.
Any of those, right? Any of those conventions, having those all printable as business cards, and sort of your handle is now a business card, is the direction we think would be super interesting to take this.
Oh, I love that though. I know I was trying to search for the actual communities over here, but I guess we could reference over here because I know this is a fun little like way to kind of skip through this while we're talking. But I was watching shout out to Decentral. I know you guys just said you did a video with them, but he kind of went through like this testnet process over here where you were able to actually customize this in live time. So this is kind of like the major layer. So if we were like from a concept side of this, if you have a handle already, you would be able to burn essentially that handle and then go back and be able to customize the new one, or do you customize first and then burn after?
Right. So if you have an existing handle now, it would be defined by the CIP25 standard, where it needs to be the CIP68 standard. So they'd come into the new UI, which I believe will be handle.me, and they'll connect their wallet. As you can see here, he's connected his wallet. But it would say it needs to upgrade or upgrade here. I'm not actually sure of the specific diction, but it would all be one transaction, a burn and a remit, and it would be the CIP68 version of the handle, and then you can start customizing it.
Got it. Okay.
Real quick, shout out to Papa Goose in the chat.
Oh, there you go. Papa Goose in the building right there. I see Bofar now. Dude, awesome. Appreciate you hanging out with here, and like I said, it's awesome that your son's crushing it right now.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna be taking notes and
yeah,
roasting me after this for sure.
You got to get him on the marketing trail over here. But no, so this is interesting, right? So you minted. So at this point, you've burned your original CIP25 handle. You minted the CIP68 version, and then here you come back to the handle portal, and this is where you can start actually personalizing everything.
Yep. I'm sorry. And the designer itself, and so in the top left designer you can. And the portal will sort of act as the dashboard per se. I'm calling it a portal because you can redirect straight from the portal. Yeah, and we'll have examples of that as we start campaigning towards the mainnet launch.
Nice. So, and essentially after, so it's, you got the display there is your actual normal handle as it appears currently. So if you want to integrate maybe an NFT or a background or something along those lines, you can connect a wallet, or the NFTs that are in your current wallet. Are those will be how it'll read that, or will you be able to add from multiple, or will it always need to be an NFT that's in your wallet? How is that going to work if you want to add a picture or something like that?
I had a little ADHD moment, so I spaced out on the question, but I believe it was how do we recognize if there's the PFP in your wallet?
Correct. Yeah. Do you have does it have to be in the current wallet where you're minting from, or does it need or can you have an option to be able to connect multiple wallets to that to be able to choose?
Yeah, so unfortunately it's going to be from the same wallet that the handle exists in. Needs to exist the profile picture. That way you could have access to that profile picture collection of backgrounds. So as you can see here, like if you hold a Clay PFP, you'll be able to access and actually use and buy the Clay backgrounds, and that'll go for any other projects. And that whole gatekeeping thing, that's up to the vendor, right? That's not something that we define in the marketplace itself. If the vendor wants to allow anybody to buy their backgrounds, anybody can buy the backgrounds. If they want to say people in our community can buy our backgrounds, then that's how that's going to work. Or they could do a hybrid combination of both. It's really going to depend on them.
Well, that's interesting though. So yeah, down the line, that's the other part of this, right? Is the actual collections that you guys, I know you guys have some partner ones over here that I guess you're going to be launching some of this personalization features with, and I know you guys are looking to kind of expand upon those initial people who are partnered with you.
Yep, totally. So for the first cohort, we're calling it. We have 3 of the blue chips that we decided that we wanted to flagship the personalization feature, and that is Clay Nation, Goat Tribe, and Dirtbirds.
Okay.
That is just to not only get everybody used to what a vendor is supposed to do on the marketplace, but also get the next set of vendors used to how to get set up on the marketplace.
Okay.
And so this is where things get a little interesting too, and people can build, revenue models, business models, tools around the marketplace itself. And I'll shout out one specific example is getting these assets on chain. Could possibly, you could have a tool built to get those assets on chain for each one of those projects. And I'm not sure if we've been talking with, I don't know if you guys know who Ada Anvil is.
Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So Ada Anvil, they're a minting service. And so we've been talking with them about, how do we streamline the process of getting vendors more set up on the marketplace itself? And they're like, man, we could build an entire tool around this. And just have a real easy, 1-2 process of getting vendors set up like that. So it's not like every single one has to have their individual minting engine. So having building tools and building
Amazing.
Services and actual revenue options all around the marketplace itself is super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I love that, like you said, I know briefly in the interview you guys did earlier with Thor and them, you mentioned the fact that this is something right now that you guys are kind of building for the creators right now, where a lot of the users having to kind of do the backpacking of having to go get the PFP or get something if they want to have a certain background from a certain partner collection. But down the line, you guys are looking, like you said, to make this a little more streamlined, and like I said, potentially make it a revenue model for you guys as well, to really kind of let it evolve and let creators kind of have some freedom too to express and really take this wherever they want. How does that look for you guys too? Because are you guys looking to eventually, like I said, hey, maybe Ada Handle has a specific background this time of the year or whatever it may be that people can get exclusively if they mint now with you guys?
What a great question, Tommy. What a great probing question. Something
we have to get a little let's see what we can get away with, right?
Something we haven't talked about publicly, but definitely, yes, Ada Handle will be a vendor on the platform itself. Any Witch project could have certain things like that. Different themes for holidays. They could do background or asset drops for different times of the year, summer drops, spring drops, winter drops, things like that. So really allowing any of the vendors to have as much freedom as possible to sell goods and services. And what we're trying to do is allow them the best opportunity to get their goods and their services as dispersed as possible, right? Coming with one thing that we try to leverage right now is the integration aspects of Ada Handle. And so getting the SIP68 upgrade across all of the applications that we already have integrations with allows vendors to then be able to say, if we get set up on the marketplace and our users get to update their handles, all of that artwork gets to be dispersed among all of those integrations, and they get more exposure, they get more limelight. And so being able to leverage that is definitely one of the strong suits for us.
I can imagine.
Yeah. No, it automatically makes me think, so I'm a big Rocket League player, and every season they always release certain emblems or certain frames and banners and things like that you look back and you can't get those. Those were time gated at that specific point in time, unless there's a secondary market. But what better way to in a decentralized market, if you say you wanted to sell that, you were there early, but then you could transfer that later down the line. I think the possibilities are endless with how you guys could really integrate that with a marketplace and different projects. Like I said, it's just getting started. But
something that's interesting about that, Tommy, too, is in that example, the Rocket League example, on this side, even though it is decentralized and deregulated in that way, it seems still much like a safer option. Hey, I can go to this marketplace that is trusted, that has a reputation, and purchase this, and I'm going to get it sent to me because of a smart contract. Where in Rocket League, it does have those secondary markets, but they're not. Always games like that aren't always controlled by the actual game itself. They're not actually kind of legitimate. So you have to go to these kind of outside third parties that don't have that kind of same reputation built, or if they do, it's not something that they don't have support. They don't have anyone to contact if there's a bug or anything. It's just oh, that sucks. You got scammed out of real cash.
Yeah. Have you guys like thought longer term into like the possibilities, or are these all conversations that are like, hey, there's so much we could do with this. Let's put this out there and see how it evolves from there?
Oh, 100%. The latter, right? Getting out, and our business advisor is notorious for just get it out, guys. Just get it out. You know, we can douse fires and we can figure it out from there, but just get it out. And so that's definitely one approach. We try our best to think and talk about as many different opportunities that there can or will be, but it's just impossible. I think with like the way that we're trying to implement the marketplace itself, there's just things that we won't be able to anticipate, and and we'll just have to move quickly around those. I see actually Pops made a comment in chat. Yeah, and you just pulled it up. One thing I probably should mention: vendors don't have to be NFT projects either. In fact, we're talking to, and he even mentioned we're talking to Pi is one of our advisors who have a close relationship with Sunday Swap. People like Eternal Lace, Sunday Swap, or different applications like Liquid has the Aqua Farmers. If they want to have their assets in their community on the marketplace, they can do so themselves as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, it extends beyond just the NFT communities, right? There's so many other, that's the beauty of Cardano, right? Everything's a native asset over here. So you have so much potential for customization, and you guys like trying to set the standard right now, or being the standard. It's the possibilities are endless of where you want to go with this. You're not just pigeonholed into the NFT market, essentially, right? Like you have real big products and big builders that are coming over here. Say Nike wants to come to Cardano, you guys could arrange a partnership with Nike to do personal handles. Like it could go on even bigger than that, right? But it's it's such a unique position to be in, I guess. And it's kind of fun being the one
even bigger than
leading
Nike, because that would be
even bigger than Nike.
Yeah, right. Hey, we're just talking.
That'd be super cool. Like one day having Nike backgrounds, Nike branded, assets on the marketplace. That would be super
athletes. Cool. They want to partner up and do this athletic collection, but you have to get the set standard. This collection. I mean, who knows? Supreme drops. They want to do their thing in the background, right? They release a certain handle. I don't know. Like you could really like long term. Like if that's just where this goes marketing wise too. I mean, you guys are positioning yourselves though to be in a good spot. So I love that. I know we're running a little long over here on time, so we just wanted to wrap this up over here. When can people get their hands on these new personalization features? When is this going to go live, or from what you can tell us?
Yeah, totally. So we definitely try our best to stay away from sticky dates. Yeah. Just from brief conversation this morning, we're looking to about a few weeks from now. It like I said, it really depends on. We just launched public testnet last week, or announced it, and we had a bunch of people come into the testnet, and thank you whoever's listening who was involved in testnet and finding different bugs and things for us to work on. But it's just going to depend on what else comes in from the community, and if things are things are critical or mission critical and that we have to address, and if that takes a certain amount of time, but we are pushing hopefully a few weeks from now. Fingers crossed.
Okay, awesome. And last little bit of alpha, because I heard you dropping it, and we want to make a mention of it over on the channel. What the OGs, the original, there was a sign up way back when. Any alpha for OG holders of ADA handles potentially, or is that to be determined?
So nothing specifically, but that isn't to say that we haven't thought of all of the different ways outside of personalization and different feature sets on the business roadmap that could actually implement things more specifically for OG holders and potential ADA handle PFP holders. So things like that are definitely on the chopping block for us. Nothing specifically as of yet, but we definitely will take care of those people for sure.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about, I don't know what it was. It was like the natural instinct when you guys first had launched that way back when. It was just like sign up for it. I don't know what it is, but just sign up. Like we were talking about, I got in a little early over there.
Okay, and just tell everybody what number you are. That's where you're in. Bring it up. Just tell everybody what number.
If there's one stream to bring this up, why not bring it up when we have ADA handle on?
Look at that.
I'm a top 100 OG over here. We're gonna have to at least flex that a little bit over on the stream. I was honestly though, I was curious.
What number is the time so everyone can actually hear you say it? What number is it say?
I don't know. We're just stop. But no, I was just curious about that because I always sat in my wallet here and I was just, that's cool, a nice little like memorabilia. But now with this happening, there's a possibility, or even just a white. If you guys ever do any sort of mint or any sort of special releases, like OGs could be first priority, whatever you want to do with it, right? There's possibilities are endless.
Yeah, you know, whatever. If you want to even just give OGs like 1,000 data just for orders early on, I mean, whatever you want to do.
So many light bulbs are put off my head. Even like you know, an OG handle gate kept background collection. For backgrounds that only you guys could purchase and use.
Hey, we got
a good idea. Just make them really ugly.
Yeah, make them terrible.
Like, make it auto set. Like if you're an OG, that's your default background.
You can't change it.
Yeah. Hey, we got a thing for the OGs over on our channel, so that would be perfect for that.
I really like the whitelist idea, though. We might actually implement that.
It's cool because it could be, like I said, you could take the possibilities, you know, anywhere you really want to do that. But having that now are automatically, you guys knew something that you didn't know way back when by doing that, right?
Yeah, and you guys had the conviction to be a part of it, and that's why we want to reward that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Goose, we appreciate it. If anybody's looking to get more in touch with you or your community, where's the best place to get in contact with you guys?
For sure, Twitter at @AdaHandle. And then if you want to be more in depth, you know, you can talk to myself, Pops, Conrad, Calvin, even, and Aaron, all in the Discord. If there's ever issues that you have with anything @AdaHandle related, hop into the Discord. You can open up a support ticket. Any one of the engineers will be in there to assist you. But yeah, those two places would be the best places for you to contact us.
Well, we love Ada, just how accessible teams and things like that are. It's very cool. Just like you can come talk to like us, like
right,
not like an automated press 9 contact machine kind of thing, you know. Then goes
representative.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure in a few years from now with the path you guys are on, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get in touch with you guys. So we're glad we caught you guys early when we did, and appreciate you spending your time and your night with us over here on the channel. We appreciate your time, and yeah, we'll definitely have to get an update here, maybe when that OG mint drops here sometime in the future, right?
Totally. You'll be the first we contact, Tommy. And thank you guys so much. I definitely appreciate it as well. Very grateful to jump on here with you guys and talk to you guys and get to know you guys. So thank you.
For sure.
Perfect, man. Awesome. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Care, man.
Awesome.
All right, time to do the giveaway for the Jake Paul handle.
The OG TOMMY handle for everybody right there.
Yeah, was someone try to sell you a handle? You both? No, that was something at the Joseph Miranda's.
Oh, way back when?
There's a portion of that story that Tommy leaves out, Tom, that he minted that thing, and then he tells us about Ada handles like 10 hours later after he already minted it and said, oh yeah, by the way, it takes a few hours to get an email. Mind you, it took over like 12 hours to get an email, but he did it so early and just told us way later after he did it.
I got mine on like
what a nice guy, huh?
Hey, you got to be on top of your nfaFA out there.
Listen, we were a team then, bro. You gotta let us know. You know?
Now we're not. Now it's me and TJ versus you.
Every man.
That's when it turned. That was the day.
Yep.
The betrayal sunk in.
It did. 100%.
Appreciate
you pulled
you
the knife out from the back.
He did.
Hey. We appreciate Papa Goose over here for making an appearance over in chat, and also shout out to Mopar. Says so much more alpha to come. It seems it's interesting stuff. I didn't really think that you could really like customize it in the way that they were kind of talking about. But like you said, the possibilities are endless when you really start to think about what you can do with those.
Well, it's even cool because they said like you don't have to be a project, right? You can like, let's just say I just like doing art. I don't want to be in control of a project, but let me just kind of throw a couple of backgrounds or just art pieces that people could use as a background up there to sell. So you can make a little, money on the side doing that too if you're just art.
Well, dude, it's like a double layered marketplace, right? You have like your NFT, but then after that, you also have like the background collection for like plays or something like that. Like it really, you can dive that down even further. And the same thing for like creators and like time locked events. Like, hey, we were a part of this event, and like, I'm again using Rocket League as the example, but it's like, hey, we had a really cool background or border or something like that only, it shows like your period of time when you were here. And
if you wanted to, like, if we wanted to make art, hey, we got an OG one. If you have OG status in the Discord, you unlock your F35 OG wallpaper.
Exactly. Possibilities.
Oh, hey, never know right there. But yeah, that's some nfaFA over there for sure. Shout out to nfaFA over there, Tom. You had a nice little new. We had a new.
I don't know. What do you think of that? That's the first rough draft. What do you think of that?
Actually, I like that a lot.
I do like the new nfaFA over there. Let's see. Can we get a little thing for chat over here for this? So we can get a live look at nfaFA. I like it because it's got the rocket in it as well. And if it doesn't have, I mean, I don't know, just something about it to me feels more nfaFA E than the other one did.
Before we talk about this too, we need to like implement these into YouTube chat. We need to do that one night. Because we can actually throw these emotes in there.
You're right. We need to go ahead and actually get those.
Yeah, I want to do that this weekend, and then I got really sick. Kind of sucked.
We're slowly working on that. Since we have.
Do we have any orders in the store yet? No. Okay, we didn't miss anything.
We're not missing anything, but we do have. If you guys did miss out, this is a shameless plug over here. That if you guys have not hit that like button and you're still hanging out with us, that is down there. You can hit that in the description. That helps boost the algorithm. It's the bear market, and it makes us happy. Keeps us coming back every single Monday. But we also have some merch up and running. If you guys are interested in anything or want to support the show, this is live over in our Discord right now. You can go to the merch tab and open up a ticket. We can get you guys taken care of for that. One of our, in particular, favorite designs, I think that nfaFA might have to make it over there, but Tom, this one still gets me every time. Where we're going, we don't need gas. I love it. The Cardano wheels. So to me, this is still, I'm waiting for mine to come in over here. I know you got the long sleeve version of that too. But shout out to that. If you guys are interested at all,
did you order one?
Like our order guy is different than your order, the regular order guy, right?
I didn't know you ordered one though.
Yeah, I bought it.
Okay.
I'm waiting on your response right now. So House of Titans. I keep wanting to call them House of Degens. Guys, let's dial back into this. It just gets
that Degen spirit going, right?
How about our timing on this? We go and do the podcast, we record this, and literally we wonder who's behind this project literally the day after. Hey, Apex. By the way, I'm Apex, part of the Phoenix Arena team, and now I'm behind the House of Titans project. I'm like, damn it, of course you are. Right after the announcement had happened, and these are starting to make some more steam over here, over on the timeline. I've been seeing more and more posts, more and more people are getting interested. Exciting. And they dropped a new sneak peek over here today with a little top hat. And on top of that, did you notice this up here? 20 distinct houses await your discovery. Are you ready for the house list?
Love it.
So we're going to get 20 different types of whatever, like class or different group of people, whatever they may be.
Our houses, just different last names or whatever it is.
It reminds me of that. What's that ETH project you were part of, Tommy? That had like the different categories of if you were in that like the gaming or the entertainment category, you had that sub little group in Discord. What was that ETH project?
Oh, so I was gonna say that it reminds me of a kid called Beast.
Kid called Beast, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm getting that vibe of that. Wait, I don't know what they're doing there.
We literally said it, and if they're not going that route, then that's that option's still open. But we kind of always said that right when the Kid Called Beast came out. We're like, dude, that's a great idea.
It's a great idea. That's literally what we're talking about.
If you guys aren't familiar with the Kid Called Beast, was a project over on ETH that we had talked about a little bit back on the show, but it took the ETH world over by storm quickly because there was unique marketing in the sense where they had like this personality test, and there was 20 different like subcategories of these different beasts, as you call them, but each one had like a different like theme to it. Like one of them was sports, one of them was tech, one of them was cooking, one of them was like fashion, one of them was music, and essentially all these different subcategories were divided throughout the collection. So you were able to form like these subgroups, and then together overall it was like a unique way to market a project. So with these 20 distinct houses, I'll be really curious how they kind of theme this. Are they kind of going to go that route? Or are they going to go something more along the lines of maybe like an ape society or something like that, where they have the different classes, like 20 distinct houses? Or I'm wondering, Tom, do they have House Tomtan? Is that going to be
that would be pretty cool. But I mean, when I hear it, I think, right away, first sparks is like ape society style. You know what I mean? Like it almost, taps into kind of like that Game of Thrones. You have like House Targaryen, House Lannister. So whether they're different, like completely different races, Titans themselves, or they're just different families within the Titan universe, the lore, I'll be curious as well, because it always helps add that extra layer depending on where they end up going with that, because it's something that you could have where it's very simple and it's just something extra to have, like an extra trait in there. We've seen projects do that where they kind of have these different races, different types, and then they don't really do anything with it. It's just kind of to add that extra level of traits. But then, you see an ape society or these projects that really develop out those houses, like, and really use those traits besides just being something to add some rarity on the secondary.
Yeah.
Well, even like seeing that Apex is the founder of the project just builds the confidence for me personally even more, just to see where this goes, because he's already established in the space. So to see him a part of this is great to see.
Yeah, so they've been doing this for a while now. From his post over here, saying that basically this has been something they've been doing for months. They're looking to blend top tier art and utility, so it's not just the art over there. And if you don't know Apex, he's been a part of the Phoenix Arena team. I know way back when he messaged me about them, and I know they're getting ready to drop like their game demo or beta over there. So they've been building a game that he's saying is going to be one of the top Cardano NFT games. We'll see how that goes once that actually drops in his releases, and what the community feedback is on that. But you can at least expect that he's been here for a while, and he's a builder inside the space. So it's good to hear that this isn't some random project. AI art's been thrown around quite a bit on the timeline recently. So I would love to know a little bit more about the background of the artist on this and who's all behind that. There is another person that is over here, Sick over here, is also part of the team. They have dedicated nearly a year to building the project and confidently say it's going to be unique. I'm interested on who this full team is and what their actual, I like it, HOT or hot over here, House of Titans. But they're going to say a vibrant world where utility will be given the attention it deserves. What are your thoughts? I mean, what could the utility even be on this? This reminds me also, just not a shade to them, but it definitely reminds me of the History Channel logo.
Yeah, I can see that now. You can say that. Absolutely. Well, no, since it says like they've been working on it for over a year, I'm kind of like hopeful that we'll see some utility right off the bat, right? We'll see some use case for the NFTs within the first couple of weeks of it being released. So that just gives me hope in that aspect of it.
Well, I mean, seeing that Apex is working on it, behind it, it does make sense, because the things that I've liked so far, like, the marketing, the early start, where it was just something that they did buzz and hype, which is always something that's needed especially when you're starting a project in this market as it is, and just as late as we are into it. Even though we still say we're early, you got a lot of projects you're trying to kind of get attention from, compete with, especially when people are down and maybe a little more hesitant to spend their money sometimes. I feel like that's both ways too. I feel like some people are like, I'm not minting anything, I'm holding on tight until things are better. And other people are like, I just want something at all to mint. It's so boring. But yeah, I've liked that so far. We saw the marketing where they just dropped those 3 pictures and everyone was kind of talking about it. That definitely gets me excited. And I agree though, TJ, I would like to see, as they announce more, hopefully that wasn't just like, oh yeah, wrote down that name in a notebook a year ago, so we're going to say you've been working on it for a year. But I've only really put in serious work the past 2.5 weeks. You hope we're ready, like off the bat. It's not just like, here's our roadmap over the next 2 years. But some things that they've already developed, done, have ready to go, or at least showed as an announcement on what's going to be coming after the initial mint.
Yeah, to me, I mean, the artwork is definitely what stands out right away. I know a lot of people could compare this picture specifically over to DGods, and I think that is a key element when it comes to the NFT scene. No matter what, like, you can have an amazing product, and if people at the end of the day, people want a digital identity, or it holds a different kind of weight to it. So I think knowing that, going the good artwork route is a great first start, because like you said, in the marketing too, the way just a lot of teams fail to really capitalize on their marketing, even if they have an amazing product or great artwork. These guys are kind of drip feeding you a little bit, kind of building and anticipating the hype. So I think that goes a long way with as far as the smartness of this and trying to reach a broader audience outside of our little ecosystem too. So I think that's a key factor for them, because one thing that Apex did mention up in his tweet is that he's assembled a team with proven track records. So it's not just, he's kind of maybe more like the organizer of this group. And that's good if they've got different strengths of different people inside
bringing super group, bringing talent together, people from other projects they've collaborated or worked with. Also like to hear that.
Yeah, and I know Rob, our Aero Art, shout out to you, because he's rocking the Phoenix Arena, the diver down there. I said Apex rocks, been a fan of him since the Phoenix Arena for ages. I know a lot of people have that same sentiment about him. Rob says the art is rather meh, to be honest. So art obviously subjective to everybody, not for everyone over here, but I think the general consensus is that people are pretty hyped for it, and it'll be interesting to see more of the collection, because obviously they're going to different Titans, I'm assuming, as what they're called, at least for now. Different subtypes of these. There's currently going to be 20.
Why are you saying that there's plans to change the name?
Huh?
Why are you saying that Titans' name is for now? Like they're planning on changing their name.
No, I said Titans are what they're called for now.
Like, yeah, they could have a different name within the universe. Like,
I guess.
Oh,
Okay,
the House of Titans. They're called.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they have different. I don't know. These are
they're not changing the House of DJs, bro. Leave alone. That's what
I still keep calling them House of DJs. It's just in my head right now because it's just all the DJs over here.
Triggered in you. You're ready to go off on these. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree though to some level, like just because we do very much judge books by their cover in this space. A lot of us always take that deeper look to see what else is going on, but it is the first initial impression, especially when they do a drop like they did, where they hyped it up with just a couple pictures, and that's all we really had at first. They're really banking on the strength of their art and showing that off.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people always connect more with like the kind of humanoid PFPs, the ones that can really get that personality expressed of their own, like in the picture. And yeah, I mean, it's not everything, but it is can be a big part of it, especially. I mean, unless you're selling it for 5 ADA, no one's buying my pictures that I would draw like freehand. You definitely need some sort of good visual representation.
I would.
Otherwise, you got to have a lot of things on the back end.
Yeah. On the back end. My take on this too is obviously we want to see more of the art, and I'm sure we're going to get more details according to what Sick said over in their post. So I'm sure we'll hear some more about this house list and what these different subgroups are out of the 20. But interesting to me will be also the artist, because I know that has been a big topic inside the space right now. When it comes down to some of these projects, there was did you guys see that AI art generated project? It was like
Animanga or
what was it? Animanga? I forget the name.
I think it's on the main page, no?
It was. I don't know if they're still there anymore. No, that's a Daki. That's a different one. I forget the name.
Animanga
there it is. Yep. Yeah. So these took the CNFT space by storm over the past couple days, and then quickly got called out because they almost seemed like they were kind of too good to be true. That came out of nowhere. They were labeling themselves as like 444 one of ones over here. And then quickly got pointed out that, these aren't actually one of ones. These were AI generated. And the founder, whoever it was, they were saying is pretty much was like, we didn't know this. And then they tried to disprove them with time-lapse videos over on Twitter. And it just kind of caused the whole, everybody has an opinion on Twitter. That's one thing. I know Ron Swanson over there had put something out like, hey, this is cool. I'm picking up a few of them because I like the way they look. And then people were quick to call them out of like, hey, no, those are AI generated. You can't like those. And it goes back to like, it's one thing to not the problem was is marketing these as one of ones and not stating that they were AI generated, because I know a lot of people have different feelings about AI. Also that they kind of faked this video too, according to at least some who did a little bit of detective work on this. I don't know too much about this project, but I just know that when it comes down to like the AI generated stuff and like actual artwork, seeing something like the House of Titans over there, people, especially with artwork being, some considered like a very good PFP, I'm sure that's going to be a topic of conversation for them as well over here.
It's a shame because
I didn't see this video. How'd they say these were fake?
Pretty much they were saying that like the Photoshop,
they did it after the fact or something.
Well, they dropped the Photoshop one where all the layers were like random like numbers and stuff over there. They had a ton of layers, and they're like, no artist actually labels stuff like this. This is absolutely ridiculous. What they're drawing here, it doesn't actually look like the actual profile pictures either. There was a lot of stuff that people were trying to disprove it, and I'm not a detective when it comes down to artwork or anything like that. Don't claim to be. But I just
the only thing is, but they said at first too they didn't know.
The founder or whoever it was claimed that the artist or whoever was doing these didn't disclose to them that they were using AI to.
Then they released a drawing video.
And then they try to but then they're like, and then I guess people are calling out the drawing video saying that this is AI generated too. Like show us the before, like the stroke, all these different, I don't know, all this stuff. So I don't know what this is, and if I'm wrong about any of this, sorry to this thing over here, and if we're right, then this is why we're kind of calling this kind of stuff out, because I know it's one thing to do AI art, and I think there's there's a place for that, and it will be big, prevalent inside the NFT space, especially moving into the next run. But it's the distinction between labeling it, hey, this is what it is, so people don't get fooled into, hey, who's this awesome new artist over here They're going to be able to kick out these amazing different pieces and look at all the different, look at the price that we paid for them. We get this exclusive, and it's like, no, some guy just did this on a computer.
Yeah, they definitely need to be transparent about that if it's AI, because I mean, it's cool.
Well, now
Actually,
it's AI over here.
What I really like, what that's me off the rip though, like you're like right from your minting, you need to tell them this is AI art you're minting, not buying on secondary. That should have been from the get go. But I actually really like their name of the project, Animanga. I think it's a really good name.
Yeah, I think a lot of people inside originally jumped on that train too over there. And there's nothing wrong with this, right? Like if you like the way this looks,
I like how they look.
That, like
I mean, I like how they look. I mean, I agree, especially if you came forward and said like, hey, look, I'm on the side where. Just as an example, like otters or something like that, where hey, we're just trying to develop some like game, maybe, or something on the back end. We're minting. We're mining. We're gonna be mining crypto. That's our project. That's what we're building here. The art, I'm not an artist. I don't have that. I have the development side. I don't have the backing, and don't think our funds should go towards paying an artist. I would rather spend it on mining machines. And so you would say that, but I agree. You can't have that AI. You just got to make that for sure transparent on the front. You can't, especially saying it and marketing it as a one-on-ones.
And then
it's like in that case, Tommy's got a whole bunch of one-on-ones to sell with you.
Oh, and the other part about that, that's the problem too, is that they fumbled this so badly because like, from a PR wise, if they would have just been like, hey, look, transparency wise, we messed up. This was AI art. This is what it is. But here's our plans to lay this out. That if they had to communicate that. Well, the problem is dropping a video that had other people skeptical to say that for like them to almost kind of cover it up. And if that is the case where it's not actually true, then yeah, that you PR wise, you just killed this whole project, which is a shame because think about this. If this had like Goofy Gopher utility, right? Like they were a mining project, but they used this anime as the PFP. Like I'm pretty sure most people would be like, yo, I want to rock one of these. I don't really care how it was drawn. And same thing, maybe like a space bud. I don't really care about how the space bud looks. I care about what the representation of it means. Like all you had to do is on the PR on the front side, just be transparent about that. And you could have had a really cool community. Because a lot of these pieces, I mean, personally, I like these more than a lot of the stuff that's out there. Unfortunately, now they're kind of maybe screwed, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Great name and great AI art. Honestly, you just need to be transparent about it.
But you got to keep these people in check. At this
point,
man.
I mean, like even if like I really liked one, I don't think I would grab it.
No,
as a PFP, because I mean, obviously your PFP, you have that side that is visual. You want to connect with it. You want it to be cool. You want other people to look at it, like, damn, it's cool PFP. I like that one a lot. But it also helps when it has that backing of being a solid project, being worth a lot, having a high floor, being a successful project, quote unquote. And when you kind of don't show up on that side, that PR side can also just kill the market you may have even had for PFPs. It's like I don't want to have that and be like that representative of me, it has this kind of connotation to it.
But when you see it, a lot of people before they knew about any of this stuff, like they were trading very well over on the secondary market. Eddie loved the art. And then Bobcat over here, he goes a mint and bought on secondary. I almost caught a second comment there. Had to make sure to click that one. We'll stick with that one. But yeah, no, you see people were actually really excited for this when they were first trading. Some people buying these in the few hundred.
I saw them pumping over the weekend. Honestly, they looked really cool at the time.
But
they still look cool. We're wrong. I just need to say it was AI.
Well, I think the Cardano community is interesting in the fact that we're so tight knit that when something like this kind of comes out of nowhere, people are just very skeptical to start, right? They're like, where did this come from? Why did we not hear about this? Why was this not hyped up? And why did it come out so quickly? And then this is probably why you're just like, yep, there's a little bit more to it than that. So
do they have why we always come back to projects like things like Mallard, where we praise them on how they really built a community first, showed up in the space, made a name for themselves, had fun, showed that they had this kind of like small peaks of things going on until they fully started announcing things and showing their real plans and roadmap. They already had a reputation, which is just going back even further, seeing that like Axel's doing that. When you hear that's one just big hurdle right now for new projects that you want to get involved in, whether because you have a belief in its future or because you're just like, I want to flip it, financially I'm involved. I'm interested in this project, making some money, making some ADA. That first hurdle kind of right now is like, who's the team? Are they docs? Do we know who they are? Is this a scam? Especially like, and then we see something like this. So it's always nice when we have a team where it's like I built a team full of people that you'll be familiar with or coming from other teams that you'll know of if you aren't familiar directly with them. That's always nice.
Sorry, Bobcat over there, because I'm being serious. And that yeah, they're like little like jewels or like rubies or something. That's how you can spot AI art, guys. The nipples.
Or how many fingers does it have?
I don't see the fingers. They're smart on that. You can't see the fingers. That's a dead giveaway. Nipples though, that's the new one. You gotta be careful of those.
Never consider that how it does like.
It is so much weird, right?
Like if you did that, would it just come back like a Ken doll? Didn't have pants on?
I don't know. Like we're in 2023, man. There's all kind of, I'm sure, possibilities that it could come out with.
I would think that.
No,
I mean, I don't know.
this.
You have
look at the nipple is on the side right here.
What?
Oh, that's
okay.
That's
Now
bad.
That's bad. He's got a couple nipples. I did not know this, so thank you for that pro tip over there.
It's a small incision for his pacemaker. They'd to stitch it back up.
No,
that's his bicep implant.
Oh, okay.
That's a scar.
I would have never thought to look there, but the more you know. Shout out to Bobcat over there. One thing you take away from this stream over here: look at the nipples for AI art.
Wow, just a scratch.
Just a scratch. That's actually really funny. Speaking of
great
art,
movie. I Hate Pants. Great movie.
That is a great movie. Oh, did you? I don't want if you guys saw this, but since we're talking artwork over here, might as well bring this up. Shout out to Hoodro Wilson over here, but not Hoodro, actually Trix.
Wow,
but also shout out to Hoodro.
Damn,
I was looking
at all this care package. Shout out Hoodro first. Hey, Trix.
I was reading the screen right there. Hoodro.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, shout out to but still shout out to Hoodro. Yeah, shout out to the Doodler over here. We've got artwork coming in live over here. Real Trix Airmail, another version of this. And I came to the mailbox today and I saw just MF for paparazzi on the note. Opened it up, and of course, it's got the actual like seal over here. The wax seal is a little broken on that. Oh wow, why is that? Why is blue? Blue does that. That's weird.
Blue and green, yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, no, shout out to Trix for some real artwork. When I literally wanted to think about the Chappelle Show thing over there.
Already did it.
I know, it's just heart tricks over there. But the artwork, man, just the old money in general. I love when we can connect like the Web3 stuff to the IRL things. Really and cool. He's doing this for everybody. A lot of the members inside the community, not everybody. You got to be a special MFer somewhat. But no, it's just. When you look at real artwork, like, I mean, obviously art's subjective. Somebody might think it's just the dumbest thing in the world, and others are like,
I actually really like the doodles that he does, honestly.
The doodles to me are some of I want to frame this little thing right here. It's just,
you should put in the frame, honestly.
I definitely will. Honestly, what if I just frame this side where it just says drip, drip, drip?
I didn't know that was on the back of it. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I like that a lot.
I did not know that was on the back of that.
Yeah, he's it's super cool to see some of this stuff over here. He's done a bunch of people inside the community. People keep posting them over on his, he retweets some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. They had their back of bills come out. Yeah, you get IRL stuff like this.
You should put that in. You put like baseball cards or Pokemon cards, like little hard sleeves. You should find a hard sleeve that size so you can see both sides of it. Stand it up.
That would be very interesting to do, actually. That's a good idea.
Just saran wrap it.
Okay. I just want one of these big I want a big old money bill with the little ink, the little, what is this, the wax seals. I love the way they do the wax seals.
That is very cool.
Yeah, but shout out to some real artwork over here. MF for Trix, the doodler in chief.
Everything is just that little extra touch, that extra detail on everything.
It's just everything, man. Like I love even the letter today, like just looking at it in the background and getting like the reflection of like actual Trix, like his like imprint right here. Like he said he had to use like actual like ink and it got everywhere when he was doing it. Like hearing stuff like that is like, it's really cool.
Touch,
and it connects you with your community too. I love ones that actually you can get like physical products, like meet people inside a community, do these different meetup events, things like that. That's why it's really cool when you can do like the CNFT cons, these NFT XLVs, the Mallard meetups they did over in Reno, like things like that. It's always fun to see pictures and kind of connect your Web3 to Web2.
First person I met at CNFT con, he came up to me. Shout out to Trix.
Yo, Trix is the man over there. I love Trix. Speaking of, I guess real quick, what are we at? We're at 10:10 over here. Shout out to everybody over in the chat right now for hanging out with us over here on this Monday night. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like button down in the description. It helps keep the channel moving, growing, and
if you want to chat, you have to hit that sub button.
Shout out to
always
everybody
on
over
sub
here
at the end. If you want to just tell us, we're wrong, sub real fast.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Because Tommy, I saw you pull up Mallard. Did you see their event announcement today about the Make Mallard Great Again initiative?
Yeah. What'd you say? Sorry, one more time.
Did you see the Mallard announcement with the Make Mallard Great initiative in their Discord, the event?
I did see that.
So there's a contest they're running.
Yeah. Real quick, so I don't sideswipe this, because I definitely leave them over in the chat. As far as bio goes, I mean, that's all subjective to where you're at, but I think Kudrow, doing his thing over there. I mean, it may not be the end of him, may be the end of him inside that project, but that project wouldn't be where they're at right now without him. So I think you got to give Kudrow some grace on that, whether you like it or not, what he ended up doing. Big respect to him and that community and what they build over there. But yes, TJ, going to your Mallard. Yes, to make Mallard great again.
Make Mallard great again.
I did see this. So I've seen a little bit of FUD going back and forth from Duck God. He's poking the bear a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. I see that guy post FUD about that all the time. That's nothing new.
Well, it's funny because he's poking them, but then they're playing around, having some fun. He's responding back, and it's he's still part of the community. So it's always interesting how Web3 works when you can have these little back and forths on Twitter to try to get people to do things and get some news out of people. But in true Mallard fashion over here, you've got them embracing this, I guess, make Mallard great again. But I love the fact that you see the announcement of what that means.
Yes, I did. I was reading right now.
Oh, I was going to pull it up for us over here. So should we host a Twitter space?
Events.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Good quality. Make Mallard great again. An official Mallard order invitation.
Wait, are we allowed to show this? Or are we going to get yelled at again?
No.
Can't be leaking more Mallard stuff. We're always over here leaking.
Dude, Demosthenes, don't kill us over here. I say we organize, because so basically what they're doing is they're trying to ramp up. This event is going to last from now up until August 1st, and they're going to go to anybody who wants to do a Twitter space in between there. The top 5 are going to get rewarded for different prizes, NFTs, room, things like that. And then the people who enter into a raffle who aren't in the top 5, they'll be raffled off for some prizes as well. So what do you guys think over here? The requirements are basically go ahead, set up a Twitter space, must last an hour, and you must have more than 4 people. So we've already got 3 of us, so we can't be too far off with ours.
Us aside of doing a Twitter space, I just think this is a great incentive for people who've never even hosted a Twitter space before to kind of get their feet wet doing it. I think it kind of gives people a voice now that maybe they didn't even know they had, to kind of trying to find and establish that. So I think this is a really cool idea from a project or anyone to kind of throw out there. I mean, it's great prizes too, honestly.
Yeah, you got.
I agree. No, I love that, TJ. It's just hey, we see the same people running spaces all the time. You see the same people coming up to talk. People start getting a little intimidated too. I mean, especially when the space has 100+ people, whatever, 50+ people. Oh damn, I have a really good comment right now, but I'm also not about to jump up in front of Clay and the team and 50,000 people, whatever it may be. So I love that. Hey, even if it's just a small little space, great. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to have 50, 100, 250,000, whatever, to qualify too. It's not you have to be hey, we're just gatekeeping this to pretty much the top creators or top projects in the space. Anyone can do this. 4 people, just get work on a good title, get something that gets people going, maybe hype it up a little bit, get a couple people in there, start a conversation.
Well, the interesting part too is you can sign up for this and that the team will join you in this space. Right. So they, it's not, it's not hey, just go create a space for us and talk about it. It's hey, we'll support you as well. It's kind of a win-win if anybody's out there looking to grow maybe a social media presence or just kind of bring a topic in general that they wanted to talk about and have a chance to chat with the founders. So I like that they're getting involved with the community again and understand that maybe the timelines aren't exactly where they wanted them to be, but they're ramping stuff up on the way to that new release. So it's always good to go ahead and when they can also have, poke a little fun back at themselves. So like, hey guys, look, we understand where we're at, but we're here to be a part of this community, to be transparent and be a part of it with you on our journey to the next step. So
I just don't understand how people don't realize like stuff happens, right? Stuff out of their control. Obviously, if they could have made the things happen that they wanted to happen, or they would have 10 times. If listening to them in these spaces, you just know what kind of people and what kind of founders they are. They're going to produce what they want to produce eventually, right? Like can't. I don't know. I just think people need to relax a little bit. But again, going back to this contest here, like I said, I think it's great to kind of see hopefully some new voices and some new hosts in Twitter and running spaces.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll see where that kind of goes from there.
I agree. Mallard's here to stay, and I am patient as well. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
that team, full-heartedly in that.
I think Demosthenes spends way too much time in the space in general. If he wasn't dedicated to this, by showing how much time he dedicates to this, to show his overall dedication.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't imagine what else he could do.
I agree, Mopar.
Like if he was just, as just hypothetical, like if someone's here to just cut and run or take money or do a rug pull, they're not spending, more than working hours in a day on Twitter, on Discord, talking to people, interacting in spaces, getting information out there.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like your founders too, like if if he's that's his role, right? Like as far as Demosthenes goes, he's the founder, the marketer, essentially one of the main voices of the project. For him to be out in that community and chatting and getting also knowing what's going on inside the space, it's good that you have that access to them.
It carries that weight, 100%. We have like that co-founder on, founder, something like that. It just has that little bit extra where it's like, oh, you have all the alpha because you're leading this. You know which direction you want to take it. You know what you can and can't say. And if you want to get a little naughty and share something, you're allowed to do that. You don't have to sit there and question that and be like, shit, should I have said that? Fuck, now I'm like all in my head. And this is like my second time in this, especially what we do. Like we've had so many people that come on and said, this is my first time doing this on camera. I do the spaces for our project, but I don't ever do this, which they still go great. And it's always fantastic to get to talk to them, but it just carries that little bit extra. It's like, oh shit, you're like the founder. That's awesome. Yeah. And there since the start too, you can answer all our stupid questions that we talk about before we get on.
Yeah. You bring an interesting point, Tom, because like I feel more comfortable doing this in front of the camera versus doing the Twitter space. I think I obviously can pick up visual cues from you guys in general.
Well, I like that a lot because you know what I mean. I can
I know when to interject too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you can take those normal conversational cues when you can tell someone's like, hey, they're like at their pace, they're about to stop, as opposed to just like on a Twitter space where you get those, oh, they were done talking shit. Like I wasn't quite ready to respond. I was like pulling something up, and now we have that dead air, and it's like, oh fuck. Now we're just like, there's a pause, like a notable long pause, like for a second. Yep. Which when you're in a live space, sometimes it can feel like you're like, all right, fuck yeah, we just killed that. How long's it been? All right, it's been 3 minutes. We got another like, an hour and 57 minutes to kill.
Yeah. Well,
they do have the Palantir up too for the hats if you want to flex your mouth.
Nice, really
nice. Yeah. There you go. Looking back over here on chat, shout out to Emmy. Appreciate you showing up over here.
I'll never get it, Travis, because you have it.
Ryan over here. Any chat about Book ITO on Thursday? Jumped in late. We have not talked about Book. Right. Book's got their token sale. I don't know if we were going to save that for Wednesday or not, but if you have any of those Bibles right now, the 20th is when you're going to be able to do get in early, but you need one of those Bibles to be able to buy it. I think it's like 1 cent per book, from what I understand. I got to go back and catch up on that because I know that's one of those ones where we've tapped into it a little bit, but aren't really too well versed in everything that they got going on. Although I know they've gained a lot of steam and they've got big partnerships with other cross-chain stuff. You got Mark Cuban. There's a lot to get in there. We need to do a little more research. But yes, we understand. What happened?
How many books do you have on there? You have a couple, I thought.
I just got the Bible one.
You just got the Bible.
I got one too.
I thought you had one other one.
Just the Bible.
Okay.
I got to pay attention to that. What are your guys' thoughts?
More books than Tommy has in real life.
That's true.
Actually real.
What are your guys' thoughts on Threads so far? The fact people can have spaces on Twitter, but Threads don't have that yet.
I think it's like a weird thing where people were freaked out, like, oh my God, Twitter's dead. Elon's going to kill Twitter. We have a rate limit and I can't scroll for 5 hours today. So now what am I going to do? I need something that fills this void immediately. And someone stepped up and tossed together threads real fast. I think that Twitter will still, for this time, being like, you know, it's not different enough too. I mean, the difference when we went from MySpace to Facebook to Twitter, they were all very different platforms, even though you're kind of sharing the same information, sharing pictures.
Pin boards on Facebook when it first came out?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a lot of just, you remember poking people? Like that was a feature. Like you could poke someone and they could poke you back. And they had a streak going on for 2 days. Yeah, it's like you've been streaking for 6 days, poking. I was like, all right. This is
I always think of a South Park episode where he's like, "Hey, Stan, your grandma poked you. You didn't poke her back."
Yeah, that kind of, yeah. And I mean, it's like, and that was like the level of like, hey, look, I got an iPhone. It has a touch screen and I can flick a lighter open. And it's like, how much was that thing? Like, what the fuck? You know, it just didn't have like any of the real features yet. But to come now, I think, and replace it and be so similar, which is like you said, Tommy, lacking so many of the features because Twitter's been around forever. It has tons of money behind it. It has a huge development team.
I think also Twitter has more freedom of speech too. I think that's the big difference.
I figured Thread would be not.
I don't know. It's like it's got the Facebook protections. I've seen like hit or miss on that where people are like, "Oh, I love Threads because it's so simple. It's just like more wholesome over here. It's none of the noise." And then I've also seen like, "All right, this is dead. People are not catching on to this wave anymore. It was fun while it lasted. Let's go back to Twitter."
But it seems like, because I think no one's abandoning Twitter right now. It was a backup that everyone created, I think, in case we kept seeing these rate limits and people were just like not. When the rate limit thing happened, everyone was like, all right, I'm done with Twitter. I'm off it. I can't use it because it's not usable. I can't even look at it. I can't refresh it if I wanted to. I need something else. And they made it as like a backup. And it was like, if this continues to just get worse and worse and completely nuke, like we'll make this transition over. But as of now, people are still updating their Twitter just like they normally would, mainly using it and kind of like double posting to Thread as like a safety. But exactly. Like unless we see real steam where it's like, oh wow, Twitter's just gotten like, it's now been weeks, still unusable. We don't know what's going on. That's not happening at the moment. So that transition's not going to stay permanent. I think people slowly post less to it because they're getting those interactions back on Twitter. Like why would they do both when it's mostly the same people? It's the same communities following you. No one's just on Thread, I think, right now. They're like, oh no, I missed that. I wasn't on Twitter. I only use Thread.
Do you remember those, the old apps, like the lighter?
The Zippo.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was just like, that was like the whole thing. It was like paper toss and like, the Zippo lighter. You could like drink a beer. You could like drink a beer. And it was like, oh, that's like, oh, it has all this, like, it has a gyroscope. Yeah, it has a gyroscope in it. It can track where you're like, what angle you're holding it at and all this other shit. And it was like, that was just such first generation level of it. It was like the poke on Facebook. And then now to see where it's come to bring something new into the market. Like imagine trying to compete with the iPhone, but you're also not a like name brand. You know, if you're like Google coming forward, at least you still have Google back, even if you're not really as much in the phone market yet. But to just come in out of nowhere and be like, take over social media like that, I don't think so. Like someone trying to take down Instagram or something. Same thing.
Yeah. Nice. Captain Clouds, Ryan confirming over there. Less than a cent for the book ITO back. Anybody who's interested in that. I do need to get back in tune with, and maybe we'll take a look at that a little bit later. That is one for another night, though. For speaking of that thing right down there in the bottom right, though, that little what is that? A wash machine?
A washer. Mm-hmm. Laundromat.
Tom, have you seen this project over on Twitter?
I have not. No, I must have missed it.
Oh no, this isn't it. But I love
the
this.
Blam.
I love this this give over here, the astronaut. Just fits well with our theme. No, the Laundromat. Sounds
it almost be a little 100%, Tom. It does remind me of that.
Yeah, I can play him, right? Yeah.
Actually, now.
Actually, no, yeah.
But yeah, I'm liking the
one of one royalty-free collection coming to the Cardano blockchain. If you're worried about the art, you're missing the point.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Like that.
What I do love, and I tweeted this out the other night because I saw that picture of the astronaut one, and I was just like, I don't know what this is. I keep seeing it, and I don't know what it is. It's different, and I want one. I don't know why I want one, but I want one.
I know.
And it's I don't know what it is.
Your post that you tweeted about, I was like, damn, I feel the exact same way. What you said.
Well, it's also weird too that they're like, don't even worry about the art when like the art.
I think that's why I'm interested in it more.
Yeah.
Is it, is this AI generated wash machines? Is this not? Is it hand drawn stuff? You know what it reminds me of a little bit? Remember when the milk
yes
NFTs came around, and they were like one of one milk cartons that all had like these crazy different themes, and people went nuts for them. They were selling for thousands of ADA, and then it came out and ruined it with that whole like milk tower to make 10,000 of these things. People are just like, no, we don't want that. Just go back to making the milk cartons that we love. Just, it was as simple as that. But the washing machine's not a normal
nipples. Ryan said.
That's a good. I don't see any nipples, AI generated nipples on them yet.
I love these ones though that are like almost as if end of the world, nature taking back
post-apocalyptic.
over.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot, almost even more like Destiny or something.
Yeah.
Destiny has that like mix of like, that colonization, but then kind of nature moving in too, because there's so many different colonies and everything.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
It's different, right? I love this. Is one of my favorites with obviously like the little astronaut and stuff.
I don't get the washing machine part. Like I could do without that. I do like the art style.
That's the whole concept of it. It's the washing machines.
I mean,
let's
I guess they would have done refrigerators or toilets. I mean,
hey, it's something about a washer though. I don't know. It just hits a little differently. It's a little cleaner.
I just like there's no agitator in there because I hate.
I hate you so much.
I was waiting. I forgot about the soundboard for those. What were you saying? Man. So hey, they said no whitelist or OG needed to get your hands on one of these.
It's very interesting. I'm very curious which direction they're going to, because they got no royalties either. So I'm curious like what their plan is.
Like if the washer goes like clockwise or counterclockwise, that direction?
Well, it depends on what country. If they're in Australia, it's counterclockwise.
Where one you get.
I love so they said there wasn't going to be many of these. What 400 or 500 or something like that? 500? 500. Yeah, 500, 0 royalties, when soon, have notifications turned on. Launderers. I don't know what it is. It's just it works.
Tommy's got like a fixation for washing machines apparently.
Actually, really
I think a lot of people do.
That's
like
your train. That's your train.
This washer. The colors.
It's maybe like the vibe, yeah, of like the setting. Like I could totally see some of this. Like this right here could go in like a Disco Solaris like world right there. 100%. Like easily could do that. Like these, I don't know. Maybe
I'm not sure if it's the same artist as Milk. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know if that is either, but the milk stuff obviously resonated very well over inside the community. They were just taking something like a milk carton and really just
sprucing it,
sprucing it up.
Giving it some life.
I mean, that's exactly what they've done though with these. That's
I mean, yeah,
look at the example of it though. It's very much so.
Damn, it does look like those style.
It does, right? But these were just so unique, like the Shrek one right here. I mean, when you could take like the concept of milk and like make 100 different things with it. I mean, that to me is like, I don't know what, nobody really cared what this was other than they really liked the way these things looked.
That's all it was. Different.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just it was something unique. It was out of the box. It wasn't what we were normally used to. And on top of that, it was just kind of like, hey, this is kind of cool. I like the way these look. Like that, like the antenna one. Like there's so many cool like things, and it definitely does this. So I guess maybe why it reminds me of that style a little bit over here. But again, I hope these are not AI. I hope this stuff is not AI.
Well, what if it's like you just said, Tommy? They admitted it prior to mint that it is AI, but there's a ton of utility for it.
Well, then I need to know that.
So I was going to say, yeah, I mean, that's when they say if you're worried about the art, you're not paying attention.
Exactly.
Emphasizing, hey, we have great technology here. We have the blockchain. We have something that is fresh and new to develop on, that we believe is the future in many ways. Like, don't just get caught up on what your profile picture is and how many followers you have. Like, pay attention to some of these projects developing great things that are going to have some real uses that they are extremely early on.
Their VPN service, so we can get our JPEG tokens.
Right. They did retweet the OG milk over here design, which obviously they had their own take on the laundromat. So
interesting.
I see a lot of people over in chat right now are saying that's AI. I'll be interested to see if it actually is, and if it is, what
well, laying a bit, maybe because I don't know, because they haven't said it yet. I don't know. They haven't said it wasn't AI or was AI yet.
He goes, I don't think the art is the point. Washing data is the point.
Yeah, see the utility for it.
The Milk's Art's current project is Revers. Okay. Did not know that.
Revers.
Or is that reflects it?
Reflects it. I like that JL actually gave us the information on that too.
So who?
L, not JL.
I'm thinking of fellow
I guess
host,
fellow.
yeah.
It looks like this fellow, right? With the sandal.
Like this one, but it's this fellow. No, I'm interested to see whatever this is. I just honestly, I could care less as far as like getting like a whitelist and all these different things. More so, it's just like
a whitelist.
I know, but I'm saying that's why I said I could care less about it. I just was interested in like the art for what it was. It was interesting and it intrigued me, and that was all it was. I don't really necessarily care about anything more than that, but it was just if it does something.
It's rare
great,
now that we've been. You get a little like almost jaded. We've been in the space so long. That we instantly compare new projects against each other. Like, oh, that's cool, but it reminds me of this. Or this is cool, but this, Simpsons did it. Like Simpsons did this a year ago. We've been here. So when you see one that you do have that reaction, where you're like, this is like aesthetically pleasing or something about it. A few of them, like, I mean, I wouldn't buy a poster of it and hang on the wall because I don't want like a washing machine on the wall. But I wouldn't like. It's nice. I like it enough that it's like the theme and style that it is something. I wouldn't pay money is what I'm saying, but I would not put it up on my wall. I like the art enough.
Are you speaking, was that Pig Latin to me, Curly Knox, with the A?
Okay, about A, NFA, TJ?
Something about
I got a bow in TJ. So I got.
Now, if this becomes the biggest project in the world over here, they drop the craziest utility and everybody just has washing machines.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, only 500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Look at this one.
Exclusive. They're not doing royalties. You know what I mean? If they're coming in and they got something big where they don't need that secondary financing too, they have like a project that's gonna make money in a different way.
They don't need the dryer bins, right? They don't need that.
What are you guys doing these days? Well, we graduated from cats, dogs, and apes. We're on the washers now.
Of course, we're somewhat interested in this too. I mean, this is a lot of the same kind of styling and theme we do for our backgrounds, our show.
It could fit great. I would love to like a whole like world of like these little washers just to see where these things are. But TJ, that just reminded me. Like, could you imagine like talking to our friends now? Like, hey, what are you guys talking about today? Oh, these washing machines. You can sell them though. Like, it's cool.
Well,
like, don't.
That was like our mutual friend like trying to crack a joke at all three of us in our personal friend group chat over the weekend. I just wrote, ooh, burn. Imagine we saw us talk about this.
Yeah,
have you ever seen The Last of Us? It's like that, but it's washing machines on Twitter.
Yeah, you don't worry about what do you do with those? Don't worry about them.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I'm here appreciating I'm a washing machine art connoisseur these days.
I don't know. What do you do with the Mona Lisa?
How many followers do they have now? That's the real question. I love that they got us today. A shout out to them supporting. We appreciate that. Absolutely. Over there. So thank you guys for support over there. Let's fucking wash 1,100 people. Maybe we're early, maybe we're not. But shout out to the washing machines.
Maybe it's all AI.
That's what I was thinking, Curly.
All our money. We'll see. Who knows? Early. Interested though.
I agree. There are some dirty CNFTs out there where now's the time. Maybe
can I wash my my old money?
Ooh, there you go.
Clean it up.
Yo, Slumber Shark has brought up a great point over there. Shout out to Slumber Shark over in chat. Maybe we could send our clothes to them and they'll wash them for us. Maybe it's an actual laundromat that connects you with your local laundry or dry cleaning service.
That's funny, Ryan. He stopped me and said, "What are we talking about?" I honestly just pictured him actually saying that.
Dude, that's. I mean, the Mobius Pioneers actually look pretty dope. Shout out to Disco Solaris on that. But yeah, I know flipping some of those around. I'm like, hold on, I'm dressing up this NFT to represent my like PFP, and it's like
even like you told me last night, Tommy, you spent almost like 4 hours farming your Makasi yesterday, feeding all your cats and the land. Just
my wife walked in and she just looked at me and she just kind of gave me one of those faces. She's like, and then kind of just kind of like walked away. And I was like, no, but for real, you can like make money
Wait,
with these.
well, look, real quick.
I just planted oranges.
The cat's, you press this button, he poops into this virtual toilet.
It's 2x right now on onions.
Oh god.
What are we doing these days? So like, how have we evolved into this? Well, one thing that I was doing during that little grind sesh yesterday that had a little bit of IRL utility, and one that is dear to my heart. Big shout out to Beyond Rockets over here on the release of their second NFT album, the Reverie
I'm
Lane.
really excited about that.
Man, I
That
didn't
was your
realize
most listened to album or something?
it was like 2021. I think Beyond Rockets became my most listened to artist because they dropped the Decentral Perk album, and it is over on Spotify. And the only reason I listen to a lot of like background music at work. Like I don't need words, I just need some like noise in the background through the AirPods. And that album, I fell in love with the lo-fi or lo-fi, whatever you want to call them. I call them lo-fi beats. But they dropped a preview along maybe like, I don't know, a year ago almost maybe, about the acoustic version for one of the songs. And I'm like, dude, how cool would that be if you did like a whole album of this? You need to make an album. And sure enough, they ended up turning the entire lo-fi into an acoustic version now. And that just dropped yesterday.
I haven't listened to it yet.
The whitelist.
When you retweeted it when you were
yeah, if you guys are interested or hold any of the Beyond Citizens, it's super cheap too, only 8 ADA. If you collect all 7 of the covers too, you'll get a special NFT airdrop if you're into that kind of thing. But I love the fact that these are a part, it's one thing for like music to be on the blockchain. It's another thing too, when you like, I will be very interested to hear how like somebody who does like a Spotify, like a decentralized Spotify for all this NFT music over there. Cause don't get me wrong, you can go over on Spotify right now and listen to this. And it works great, but the actual like album is minted into the NFT. So that obviously they have all the different covers. And if you actually go to Pool PM, you can actually hear the audio files for all this stuff. So whole entire tracks are sitting over here inside the metadata as well, which is pretty cool. The entire thing is on chain, which is dope.
What I think that's the coolest, like, proof of concept, or, showing how that works, doing it with your own material too, like not trying to be like, oh, we're just a service that will allow you to do this on chain or something. Whereas they're actually already just, hey, look, we did it with our music. Because, as we've seen too, like, we could go produce something. You go put What Boy on Spotify if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But for them to just also do it on Spotify so it's accessible, that's what we're currently using, but also show that it can exist on the blockchain, that can be a place that like music can be sold and purchased and traded, is really cool.
Yeah.
I like the monochrome ones, bro. I was looking at that one.
I love that they tied the Monochromes collection, which is their Ordinals collection, into this as well. It's really cool. Beyond Rockets, though, is such an underrated project as far as everything that they've done inside the space. They have some of the coolest, like, just most chill art to me. I don't know what it is about them.
I want that sweater.
Dude, the designer hoodies, the ones with the Beyond and all the colors on them. Some of my favorites, just in general. It's one of the coolest, like, just traits out there. But I just love this like world that he's created. And shout out to Bayrock for just everything that he does. We got a chance to meet him over at CNFT Con last year. He's a super nice guy. Big fan of what they do. So I love the album. I'm looking because they've got Beyond Rockets Records. They got a couple albums, and shout out to the musicians and the guys who did the music for this stuff, man, because it's really good. It holds up against any of the different kind of tracks out there. So if you guys are interested in getting that, if you have a Beyond Citizen, you can actually send in right now up to 5 at a time for 40 ADA, 8 ADA per transaction. And then I believe the whitelist ends in 72 hours. It's like from yesterday. So I think then Wednesday is when it goes live. I got a few of them because I minted some duplicates out there. I figured maybe tonight we can go ahead and do a couple giveaways.
And we know you want to get all 7. Real quick though, we appreciate that, ARR. We we do this for you guys as well. We love chatting and engaging with you guys and hearing your feedback on stuff. So definitely appreciate that.
What did I miss
for the comment? I'll pull it up.
Oh, there it is. Appreciate it. Yeah, dude. Thank you, ARR. We really do appreciate that. And always appreciate you hanging out over here with us too. I know you a lot of times you say you like to draw and things in the background with us over there. So appreciate you listening in, and everybody who always shows up on these nights makes it fun for us. Ryan, Slumber Shark, shout out to Slumber Shark too. And Nipples, that's a good
Hold on now.
Hold on now.
Not bad. That one works pretty well. We have talked to more nipples than I was planning. That was not in the itinerary tonight.
Definitely not in the itinerary. We do a nipple. I think we got to do a little classier than that. Over here.
Areola?
I was gonna do no, I don't think we go areola. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure how many of these I actually got duplicates so I can got 1, 2. I think I got, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 of these to do.
Okay.
Five of these for you guys tonight. We'll give away some albums over here.
Going to be a fight to the death among the
chat. Wait, dude, what's our word over here?
I didn't put anything in yet.
Are we not doing nipples?
All 4 now? Oh, shit, it's already 10:40. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we're moving quick over here. Back to nips, dude.
I got one in there for you.
Let's
you put that either, Art.
Let's do this. Let's keep it classy over here, boys.
All right.
Not to Beyond Rockets too. If you guys are looking at Perk, that I would highly recommend the original Decentral Perk over here.
All right, got it.
You guys are. All right, all AI nips, no AI nips, but we're gonna give 5 people a chance to win tonight. If you guys win, new feature by the way over in the F35 chat, you have a ticket feature. Open a ticket right here. Come over, open it up, provide a screenshot of your YouTube name if you guys win, and we will get you guys set up with your address. So new feature. I know we're actually getting a little more professional over here. So no more give me a screenshot, DM Lazy T, we'll get back to you in 5 days. Just open up a ticket.
I'm pretty good about that. I do the same night.
Open a ticket. We'll be back to you in about 3 to 5 business days.
There you go.
We're official now. We're official.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So new giveaway. You got it, TJ?
Yes.
All right. Keyword over here. We've got 5 winners for Decentral and Acoustic. Decentral and Perk. Acoustic album. Is that Reverie? Reverie Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reverie. Reverie.
Ooh,
I want to. There
I
it
like
is.
that bio. Imagine you put dirty NFTs or rugs out of it and you have a new NFT. That's some utility right there.
Ooh, I like that. That is a good thing over there. Beyond is your keyword over here to win an album from Beyond Rockets. This is the acoustic version. I highly recommend checking this out over on Spotify or Apple too. It's actually really good. Like I said, the musician for them is awesome. It's a nice little background. We should probably put it on. I would love to download it and put it in here too.
Are we able to do that?
Hey, we own the NFT. Decentral. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we can. We've done the original Decentral Perk album over on our, and we never got flag copyright. So
we should throw it like low in our podcast one this week. See how it goes. We get flagged for it.
All right, there it is. How many people we got entered in? We got 5 winners for this. Winners need to open up a ticket in the F35 Discord. So if you guys are not in our Discord, make sure to go join it if you guys are entering in.
There we go.
We have 16 eligible users.
All right, let's run it. You guys got a really good chance over here. I'm on a 1 and 3 almost.
I'll give you about 10 more seconds. No party. Actually, I saw a video of him tearing it up with a guitar a few months ago.
Dude, yeah, that's one community we've still been terribly
I know,
bad
bro.
about.
We need to.
Someone was just posting about them again recently. I thought that.
Yeah, I've seen way too much stuff from them, and there's no excuse at this point. We just are terrible.
I'm loving these notifications, TJ.
What's that?
Oh no, put it back up. Come on.
What?
You gotta highlight a message.
Highlight a message? What does it do?
Because it cuts Tom off.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. First one is Eddie Z. Shout out to Eddie Z.
There it is. Congrats.
Good. Eddie never wins, so I'm glad to see he's won one finally.
Hugs Not Rugs. The second one.
Coming out swinging with the F35 OG 2.0s.
Bio. New name there.
There you go.
Yeah, no, nice.
There you go. Appreciate it.
Congrats on that one too.
Hey, look at that. He's got some new music.
Yeah.
New music to listen to. Arrow Art. Where did Bio? I don't see Bio on my thing, but that's all good, TJ. I trust that you're
Want me to
You got
screenshot it?
that.
One
Yeah,
more,
that's
isn't
fine.
it? Is that 4?
Is that all 5? TJ?
Oh, 4. Sorry, it's only 4. There's one more.
One
We have
more.
5. Yeah, we have 5.
One more.
Mhm.
NFG Ryan.
There it is. Congrats, guys. We'll go ahead. If you guys have won tonight, make sure again to go over into our Discord and open up a ticket down here underneath the shop under our merch. Create a ticket. Just shoot us a screenshot of your name. If if you're usual over here, you don't need to do all that. We know who you guys are. I think the only person out of that group we don't know is Bio. Maybe shoot us. You can open up a ticket over there. Or if you got any questions, just let us know. But yeah, go ahead and claim that.
This is why I don't do raffle.
Hey, but this is the best raffle you got a chance at because it's free.
Yeah.
True.
Appreciate everyone taking their time to hang out. That's one of the biggest commitments right there, is just taking your time out to hang out with us. So, I mean, we can definitely cut it up. 3 of us, we have just as much fun. After the show, we'll end up staying on. Sometimes it's excessive. I look over and I'm like, it's 12:45. What just happened? What is going on? I said goodnight 10 minutes after the show ended at 11. But the fact that you guys all hang out with us just makes it that much more interesting. We get to learn that much more. Projects we may never fully. Imagine if we were just that much later to Mallard. Even our sentiment about it, where you kind of get that. Sometimes you get a little salty, a little missed out. Like, hey, yeah, it's a cool project. They got a lot going on, but we're not into it. We never got one, so we don't follow it as much. If we hadn't been doing this live and been told about it. So we definitely appreciate it. It's fun to be able to do that.
100%.
There's definitely been a few projects that the chat definitely showed to us, so that we might not even have taken a second look at because of
projects, even just small details on things that we're way off on. And Tommy over here, Mr. Altruistic, that's nice you did that. That's from all of us. That's from me and TJ too. Merry Christmas.
Like TJ.
Merry Christmas.
Come on, Shiny.
Hey, spread the love over here. Sometimes it's not about the floor price and flipping them. Sometimes it's just about the pure enjoyment of stuff or owning something cool. But understand that.
What prison did Tom?
Hey, if we end up getting any of these houseless spots out here for you guys, we'll make sure to take care of the wink wink houseless, the House of Titans.
House
If
of
you're
Titans.
still watching. We'd love to host you guys too.
Absolutely.
Um,
Open invite for sure.
Yeah. Yo, G Heaven, I don't know if you've been around for a long time, but this is classic Tom over here. What prison did Tom break out of? This is prison Tom. He's makes a common appearance on the show.
He has a lot of prison NFTs too.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those have been sold, actually. Yeah. We need some new projects to come out with the
Need some more
black
prisoners.
and white striped shirt, or there's been a few projects that have, but god damn if the black and white striped shirts don't get expensive. For some reason that seems to be like a higher floor trait sometimes.
It's because they know you want it.
That must be it. Yep. Back.
The prison
This is the
Tom,
one I
man.
like.
I still lobby for Lavish Bear to be changed to Prison Tom. It's still hilarious to me. It's the one that can
Look
be
into that.
maybe your new ADA handle, personalization. That can be it.
I want everyone asking me if I was actually in prison though. Oh, why do they call you Prison Tom? Are you in prison?
It's
Well, actually, I wear a shirt with stripes on it, but
I just love that
is there
GIF you
stolen
post
valor for being a prison veteran?
with Prison Mike. The worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
Dementors. God, that line gets me every time. Shout out to everybody over here. Shout out to our F35 mods over here. You got Rez and Shiny hanging out over in the chat. One's holding it down when we are asleep, and always saying GM first. Shout out to you guys for hanging out and chat with us and being a part of it. We could not do that without you guys. Mariano, appreciate you as well. Like I said, means a lot coming from everybody who gets a chance to tune in with us, especially in times like right now where it's maybe not the most fun price action wise, but I think we all have that sentiment where it's going in the right direction, and that this is all going to kind of pay off one day here.
I actually would be curious for the chat. There's a question for you guys. Have you guys been kind of just offloading some of your NFTs now, or are you stacking ADA? Are you buying into any old projects? Like, what's everybody doing in this day and age in the market? Because it is, like Tommy said, a little more not as fun as it was, from the beginning. Sorry, I was trending.
Well, how the turntables for me, we can maybe talk about a story for another night, but your boy is about to get a scholarship for the McCosty over there.
Not only that, though, too, I wanted you to tell your story about your little DeFi play.
I'll just say that for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't cram that in 10 minutes. Tommy's making moves. You got to walk through that a little more.
Yeah, we got some DeFi plays. That's definitely something I'm in the works of right now. I've been liquidating a lot of stuff and selling even some of my favorite collections. I've been playing with Levy Finance a little bit too.
I was gonna say you've been going to loan sharks left and right. Just you're pretty much Steve Buscemi in the beginning of Armageddon, where they're about to go up to the comet, and he just goes and takes out like $100K loan. It goes like strip
You're not gonna die on me, are you?
Yeah, that was you.
You're gonna die on me, are you? Mopar said I don't want to be JPEG heavy next bull run. I agree. The worst part about it,
exactly that.
I've seen so many of the memes. It's like, hey, ADA's pumping, and then they're like your wife or family members like, hey, don't you have a bunch of that? Congrats! And it's like all my liquid is in these NFT pictures that I cannot sell now.
I have a washing machine,
but hey, I got a washing machine.
Especially because there's always that transfer period too, where like right now we probably see some projects, even though there's not a lot selling, so some of the floors are a little low. But there's also those projects you hold that may be valued higher than they normally would be. And when they, let's say ADA gets to $1, they'll still maybe be close to that equivalent number, but it takes a while. So like you said, Tommy, like that shift to happen when ADA, if it goes on a run and goes to $1 in a week, all these projects aren't going to be selling for $600 cash. You know, they're going to drop back down to be $80 or whatever the cash value is for them. And then you're not going to be selling when that kind of wait for that transition to see where they fall, where they lie. Whereas now you can maybe get like 300, 400 ADA on something that if we see this run on ADA, it gets up to $1, maybe only at 60 ADA floor in a couple months.
I tell you what, I'm not slinging transactions around with 15 ADA like it's nothing when that bull run comes back around. So enjoy these times now, but also take into account that ADA eventually at one point, if you believe in this protocol and where things are going, at some point that's going to be worth a decent amount of money. So it's always good to keep that in mind. Slumber Shark has the right idea over here. Take out loans and buy NFTs, take out more loans, pay off the loans, to buy more NFTs, and repeat. Sounds like a wash cycle over there, and I love it.
Hugs Not Rugs is doing what you're doing, dude. Holding NFTs, getting loans against them for DeFi plays. And Curly Knox trying to fill the bags. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, do super cycling, dude. Maybe that's what that laundromat is over there. It is, though. I'll tell you that. Maybe we can, like I said, that's another story for maybe the podcast on Wednesday. But yes, the loan features are great because essentially, especially if you have the levy where you can extend it with the pro version, where you can extend them 28 days. Essentially, as long as you're actively trading, or at least making somewhat smart decisions when you're doing some of these different mints or even DeFi plays over there, you can essentially just keep using your NFTs as collateral to keep an ever long. As your spending just becomes, you have a limit. It's like a credit card almost.
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, we did this before where we had like a poll of what we should talk about during the podcast. Let's ask the chat now. What do you guys want us a topic to talk about for the podcast this week? Is there a project that we don't really, give any love to, or just don't know much about that you want to hear us talk about, or any topic in general about crypto that you guys would maybe want to hear us talk about for Friday?
Look at that, TJ. Utilizing the chat, man.
Utilize it.
That's one thing we don't do enough of over here.
No,
guys.
They're not asking questions. What do they want?
That's right. What do they like? What do you guys want?
Yeah, what do people want?
Italian food. Ooh, I like that. Permadead. I love it.
We don't know a lot about Italian food in this game. Not a lot of
strategy going into the bowl. I'm pulling these up right now so that I remember them. Italian food.
Okay.
Italian food, 100% G Heaven.
If you guys don't know, Tommy is a meatball parm sub fiend. He loves those, by the way. Subway, he used to get the meatball parms all the time.
I will highly recommend if anybody is in Florida and goes to a place called New Smyrna Beach, there's a place called The Garlic there. It has been on some of the biggest travel shows like Guy Fieri, like that kind of stuff, that kind of one of those restaurants. And they have this thing called the bocce ball. It is 1 pound of ground beef with a giant meatball surrounded by some delicious spaghetti. I highly recommend you guys go check that out. And that is my Italian food wrap up for the night over here.
This will actually go good for your tie-in of your story, Tommy, about like what you did recently. So you can kind of go through the process of like what you did and what your play is for that.
That's 100%.
Yeah, Levy is a great one. There obviously there's other. I like the NFT ones. I know there's other ones like Fluid. There is Lending Pond, and others that I'm sure that are out there that I don't know about. But Levy's the easiest one that I can relate to.
Very accessible, right?
It's just
very easy to get set up, connect the wallet. Yep.
Sounds like a clogger. Curly Knock says about the garlic.
Hey man, we don't talk about what happens afterwards. All we talk about is that goodness when it's there.
Well, I don't know. Is it a clogger of that aspect or a clogger of like your arteries?
Both. Yes, all the above.
Yes, yeah, that's a good answer over there.
Not financial advice.
Most usually there's a lot of overlap.
Hey, we got a PA over here. Some pasta advice.
Love that.
I think TJ, that's like a pretty that's what the Venn diagram is, just a circle. So if you're eating one, it does the other.
Yeah, exactly. I've been never sure 100%. It's in the middle of all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. I love not financial advice, pasta advice. But guys, we have a PA. Pasta advice.
Good pasta advice. I'm classic. I like the chicken Alfredo. My favorite.
TJ used to make some banging subs though back in the day. A chicken sandwich over there. With the Italian dressing.
Italian dressing on it. Ooh.
I was gonna say just chicken cutlet on anything.
Love chicken.
The Italian dressing though was the key point there though.
Remember those bagels I used to make too?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. That was before my time. What the fuck? I missed out on that.
With the meatball and like this. It wasn't Italian.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Special Italian.
I know, right? I'm dying right now.
It was good.
Jeez. Look at that. Cooking stream went. I don't know. Maybe we just need to do a whole thing. I made a delicious.
Food channel's been a little bit dead lately too.
Yeah, the Yum Yum channel, bro.
You know what I didn't post? I actually made 2 great meals, but I made a nice pan-seared filet mignon this weekend. You know, a little cream fraiche.
You should have shown a picture of that.
I should have put that on there. Smoked up the house because I was a rookie and did olive oil instead of like maybe like an avocado oil. A little smoky, but it worked. It was still delicious. Filipino spaghetti tonight. Nice. Yeah, this is making me hungry.
I'm getting very hungry. I usually am starving after these streams. This is making it worse.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go slap myself because I don't know the Mediterranean orzo salad. I don't even know what that is. Sounds good.
Orzo is like a grain.
Okay. Yeah, I never knew about that. I'm not. The only thing is some euros, dude. I love me some euros. Well, it's tzatziki.
Those are good.
Man, you got us to turn it into a cooking stream here at the end here, guys. Shout out to Chad. That's all we want to hear about. Pasta advice, not financial advice. Man. Slumber Shark, appreciate you hanging out with us and appreciate everybody over here.
No, that's a one instead of a whole one. I like that.
There you go.
It's good.
Salami sandwich over here. Man, who knew so many people could relate to food?
Yeah, I mean, what do they have to eat it like twice a day or 3 times a day? You guys like food?
I just read this.
No, that's a one of one.
Can we please make a side skit commercial for that? Like the Subway, TJ is just minting something. Oh, that's a great one. We'll get paid by.
I put a couple things in the Yum Yum channel.
Ooh, I need to go check in. Also, yes, if this is a plug for our Yum Yum
screen right now, what are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
You're live right now. What are you talking about?
You did.
There we go.
Plug it.
This is also so you like what you cooking.
These are your pictures, Tom?
What do you got over here? Oh wow, look at that. You even got the knife, the spread.
The stack and everything.
That's a nice spread, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want from your grilled cheese.
Oh, who knew Tom was Chef Tom over here?
I mean, it's
this?
grilled cheese and peanut butter and jelly.
I bet if you took the knife
I thought it was dessert, like a strawberry shortcake.
It would have sounded perfect, didn't it?
That's peanut butter and jelly.
I know, it looks amazing. Are these 2 different types of jelly?
Strawberry.
I think I just had a different light on.
Oh, all right. Well, either way.
Yeah, I think the other one I just had my.
Do you cut the crust off?
For those, I did. Yeah.
Wow.
The camera eats first.
Wow.
You got the blurred background and everything. Make it all professional.
Well, Tom, do you have a secret Instagram? Do you have a secret Threads account over here that we don't know about? Oh man, this is a good reminder.
My YouTube Shorts career, I make peanut butter and jelly.
Who would have known?
Exotic jellies. Ever had pistachio PB&J?
Look at that, dude. Look at that, dude. Ryan just over here. I agree, man. You spread that bread.
Orzo is like fat rice. It looks just like that, actually.
Why does this look so good, man? You did such a good job on this.
I'll make one of those right now.
Man,
I was probably after the stream or something.
And you could literally be a foodie over there.
Did you use that tomato soup? Dip it in?
The camera eats first, dude.
I catch up that night.
Okay. You guys, do you make anything without bread? That's the real question.
What's the point of living if you're not eating bread? Come on.
Now, this is a video over here. Trying to go legit.
What's your opinion? Ham sausage? Oh, I had some bacon.
That does sound good. And this is the content you guys are here for. The yum yum. If you guys have any yum yums, we do have a channel also just above the ticket item. Make sure to stop by. I like the description.
What you're making.
The camera eats first. That needs to be the new slogan in here.
That's true.
Yeah. Master Chef comp. We could do that. We could all make a live dish on stream.
We'll be the judges. We'll be the
the chat. Yeah, the chat's the judge, and then we'll invite you guys.
I can tell you right now, mine tastes the best. Trust me on it. I know you can't taste it, but mine tastes the best. It's way better than whatever Tommy made. I promise.
What did Tommy? Have I ever put? All right, Tom's whole post over here. He's got grilled cheeses.
You're gonna see a lot of grilled cheeses. There's the bachelor party.
This was. I forgot about that.
For sure. Oh,
yeah. I love it.
Stuffed pepper.
Is this the pecking duck? Oh,
the Peking duck. Yeah.
Oh my God, I call it pecking. That was these though. Oh man, if you guys are ever down in Miami, Komodo is the name of the restaurant.
For sure.
Look at this. Definitely go if you want to. It's a little upscale, but definitely go recommend.
I think like one duck is like $120 or something.
That's it, but you can split it. Definitely feeds the few.
I could eat that thing by myself.
I mean, yeah. After that deliciousness,
so delicious,
there's plugs for Komodo if you guys are down in Miami. There you go. Look at Tom's got some stuffed. What's that? Stuffed bell pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know what that thing is.
Look. That's my fillet. Rats and bacon.
Okay,
that's what that is. Okay.
Look at shout out to Lunch over here. He's got some
leftover bread from Outback, I think too. Who has the brown bread? I had like
leftover
bread, leftover rice, and then like a steak, and I just I can make a meal of this.
Tim Tam. Where's Tim Tom? I don't know what that is either. Shiny, shout out to you and the Domino's. That's the way to take care of your pizza right there.
Secure the boxes.
Shiny, oh my, this reminds me. Oh, these are the KFCs, dude. Remember these things?
Yeah.
Guys are heart attacks.
Double patties.
I've actually never eaten one of those. Have you?
I crushed those back in high school.
You used to crush those? I've never eaten
we would go to soccer practice and crush these things, and I would absolutely feel like death afterwards, trying to run like miles afterwards with one of these things.
Before every soccer game, I'd get Subway, a Snickers bar, and a full Powerade and eat it. All of it.
Oh, that's the worst, man.
You gotta have Snickers.
Yeah. Ooh, a little bit of plum. That's, I think, what they did. It was something like this. Definitely. It was some sort of sauce like that.
They had I don't know if those pictures were there. We didn't share all of them. But yeah, they came out with the they're not buns, the steamed like wraps. They came out with plum sauce. They had the you can see the scallion over there to the top left.
Yeah.
So they had like the whole thing where you could make the little
they were like little
tacos or whatever they are. I forget what they call
they were so good. And that just makes me want to get back there.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, if you
guys,
guys
a bunch more grilled cheese in there.
There's definitely a bunch of grilled. I can't remember the last time I played. You got a banana peel. That's nice.
I don't know if you or TJ, they were really posting food in there.
I did posted one.
Tom's got a lot of wraps over here. One's over there. Why have I not posted anything in here? TJ, there you go. Got a little pancake.
That's right. It's that weird pancake.
It's like a McGriddle. It's a homemade McGriddle.
Yeah, it's not a McGriddle.
It's pancake with eggs and cheese.
That's a classic right there. I'm trying to find one that I posted. All right, Tom, quesadilla
with the smear.
Like the smear. What the hell is this?
That was duck liver.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
Oh,
that's good food right there.
Oh, Annihilator. That looks
tomahawk. That looks fire. Oh man,
I hope everybody's hungry over here.
Can we please stop doing this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We just went through our whole yum yum. So that was the last thing I made. It was a taco salad. Yay, Tommy.
How long ago was that? Probably over a year, right?
A year, yeah.
Almost a year. August last year.
I'm gonna update the yum yum. So there's a little gnocchi and meatballs. So some homemade. There's my Italian night for you guys.
With the wine too. Okay.
The wine. There you go. There's my contribution.
And a wine glass too. Wasn't out of like a coffee mug.
Damn, you did post a lot of grilled cheese, Tom.
No, that's a tuna melt. That's not grilled cheese. That's a tuna melt.
Oh, is okay.
All I know is I'm starting after this pizza.
Can you please stop doing that?
All right, get off the screen, guys. Get me out of here. If you guys want some yum yums,
I'm about to go to
we've gone on an extra 4 minutes because the Yum Yum channel needed a little look through. But we appreciate everybody over here hanging out. If you guys were here for the NFTs, sorry for that last 10 minutes. If not, sorry, not sorry.
Come buy our food pictures as NFTs.
Maybe we should just make a whole channel dedicated to food while we look at it, and also just answer NFT questions with the guys.
We do a reaction. We just do a whole show looking at food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. No, that looks bad. I don't like anything.
Show us your best presentation.
That looks really good.
That looks fire.
Spread that bread.
That looks amazing.
And shout out to Chad for the topic ideas for us this week. So we will definitely be digging through those and picking some of those for sure. So we appreciate that.
Yep. And anybody who won anything from the giveaways, again, just open up a ticket. We'll catch up with you guys and give us a wallet address, and we will get those over to you. Also, huge shout out to Mopar for organizing this tonight and getting us in contact with the team over from Ada Handle. Shout out to Goose. Shout out to Papa Goose over in chat. And shout out to everybody who showed up here with us tonight. We truly appreciate you guys. We always appreciate you hanging out with us over on these Monday nights. We have the podcast that drops this Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Make sure to go down there and hit that like button if you have not. Helps grow the channel. You guys are chatting right now. That means you're subscribed. And we will see you guys next week. Also, game night is coming.
Yes, baby. Game night. My favorite.
Peace.